Alright, hello. Is this live? Alright, hello. Is this live? Okay, I just watched my own stream and it appears that it is working. Let me get the chat on my phone. And I will share this link with people. Okay, nice. With that. Share, copy that. Room 2, round 3 even. There's that. Where else I should put it? I'll put it as many places as I can. Self-promotion, type beat. It's not really. Okay, I'm gonna get some water and then we will start after I get back. So give me 2 minutes. I will put a text here that says BRB 2 min water. Alright, be right back. Alright, yo. Hello. Calm to the war. Hello. I am back. Let us begin. So, we're gonna do... I guess we'll go up because these are in ordered groups pretty much. So first we'll start with Grozny versus Sol Invictus. So this is Numidia against Kush. It's a fairly interesting matchup. Went to 3 games as well. Kush, a faction that apparently is strong in a sense. Here, actually I'll show you what fights we'll show first. Let me just reload this. Slowly, I have water in place. So we have you, Grozny, versus Sol. We have Mishelka versus Sky Elements. Mishelka versus Simplified. Acer versus Tila. And Soap versus Rovan. So what, 5 series? 2, 3, 4, 5 series. Most of them went 3 games. So it's quite a few games. That's enough games at least. For one day. So yeah, let's see. Numidia, obviously a faction with a lot of power. Can bring elephants. Can bring a rush. I would expect it to see the Javcav here because they do annoy Kush quite a bit. But it also leaves you weak to Kush just going forward and just blowing you up. So maybe not trying to do that. I mean, Kush you can see with 3 Elite Cav, 3 Armored Desert Cav, but 3 Disciples. Yeah, 3 Disciples. Kushite slaves. 2 Kushite slave infantry, a bunch of 5 Kushite spears, 3 slave slingers, 1 bowman. So pretty strong, but only 3 disciples is killing power. A lot of trash, like 7 units of absolute trash, 4 pretty mediocre missile units. Although NVIDIA isn't packing anything better. 15 armor. Actually slightly better, but nothing real. And Grozny is going for quite a strong melee army, which is a little interesting against the disciples, but I guess they can only kill so much. It's 4 legions and 1 Numidian light, as always. 3 slingers, Numidian noble, 2 of them actually. So these Numidian nobles are quite good, but obviously they are spear infantry. But again, you're only trying to kill 2 disciples, and these will help you against the elite cav as well, which is nice. A couple of vigiles, and then a cav force, which is a bunch of armored Numidian riders, 4 of them, and also 3 armored desert cav. So I'd be very worried here that the disciples kill a lot, first of all, and then your fodder units are also in a tough spot here. It's just the vigiles, I guess. And your cav is much worse, right? Like, armored desert cav, 3 for both sides. But it's 4 lancers against 3 elite cav, and the elite cav will be a problem. What do I think of the new update? I think a lot of the changes are good. Nice early charge here. But I think a lot of the updates are good. The shield armor thing is by far the most concerning. But they have stated that A, they'll be willing to change things if they're bad, and B, that they're trying to not really change the kill rates. So if that's true, then I think it's whatever. But the speed and the morale and the stamina changes are all really good. They should be anyway. But obviously it doesn't depend how they're implemented. Nice shots on these armored desert cav from both sides. But obviously these guys not pulling out. It's gonna cost them quite a few casualties and a lot of HP for sure. You can see dying pretty hard. Finally pulls them out. Armored Numidian spearmen actually. So 1 vigile and 1 armored Numidian spearman. Oh, 2 vigiles and 1 armored Numidian. So even more infantry power there. But still, the infantry are getting charged a little bit here. These guys are just facing backwards for some reason. Not sure about that. Disciples getting in here, but the noble Numidians are intercepting the charge, which is good, I guess. But they're still getting a charge in some sense against the noble Numidians, who instantly lose the entire unit. So that's a problem. But you see, this was always going to be the problem here. The disciples are still going to kill quite quickly. Second disciple in here already nuking this noble Numidian. So the goal against Kush is you want to be pushing the flanks, right? You want to be killing these shit tiers while the disciples are getting their kills. But you can see here, I mean, disciples are going to get a lot of value here and here. But if you can get into these fights, kill the cav, kill the low tiers, then you do stand a chance for sure. Because the disciples alone are not very scary. They have a lot of weaknesses to missiles, to being surrounded, as any unit would, things like that. So that's the way to deal with that. Am I Spanish? I'm like half Spanish, but I'm American mostly. I'm from the USA. Kushite Royal Guard getting in here. So again, the cav also just not gonna fare very well without infantry support. A lot of blobbing, right? Like here, there was a noble Numidian and 2 legionaries against a disciple. Here, 2 disciples fighting like 4 units. The blobbing is a big problem because it means that there's no support out here on the flanks, right? Where you really want the support. You don't want to blob against the disciples. The disciples are gonna kill anything anyway, or everything anyway. You really want to spread out and attack the other units. I predicted, okay. But now, yeah, with the cav dying, I think this is going to be pretty rough because the disciples have not really been dealt with in any meaningful way. You can see they're all around 100 men. This one has 200 kills, or 150 kills, 2 chevrons, and only lost 7 guys. So yeah, trying to intercept the charge here with the Noble Numidian infantry, the spearmen, did not work. Because they still got the charge bonus, and so they just started noting everything. And yeah, the cav just too weak. The Kushite Royal Guard just tank these fights super effectively. So this will not be good, probably. As yeah, these elite cav will just eventually win their fights, and then finally there is some support getting in here, but it's just a Desert Vigile. Even then, you can see they start to get the kills pretty quick, but there was not enough elite spear support in these cav fights early on, I think, which meant that the disciples were just killing a ton of units together, and you can see they just get 200, 430, 570 kills between them, so that's a lot of kills. That's almost half of Soul's kills, actually. But you can see the low tiers did die, but not very quickly, because the blobbing was on the Disciples. Noble Numidian Infantry, probably not the ones that want to fight the Disciples. Like, realistically, you can just sacrifice the Vigiles. I mean, they'll die, but like, so will everything else, right? So, you think this update will change the rules? Yeah, like, probably, in some way or another. Like, in some sense, it's just gonna change the balance. Like, we don't really know how, but like, some factions will obviously be better and some will be worse. Just have to wait and see. But yeah, so Grozny might want to change his approach. We'll see what he decides to do in the second game. Ooh, Elephant. Okay, yeah. So Elephant is cool. I think Elephant's a pretty good counter. Kush obviously struggles against Elephants. They don't have that many Javelins. The Disciples don't have Javelins. You bring in a lot of Cav, which doesn't really do anything against the Elephants short term. There is an Archer to Flame, and obviously the Slave Spearmen have 80 range, so that will hurt. But there are also 2 Jav Cav now on the field, so they're going to get behind and force like probably 2 Slave Spears to deal with them each. Otherwise they'll start just pinging shots into the back of your elite Cav, and that will really suck. So the Elephant could get in here pretty clean. Yeah, I think, well, the Nomads are all a little bit sus without infantry, but even if they had infantry, it's just a very weird faction. They've been in some tournaments, but they're not very fun, because every game is just a box against them. I've had some very long games against the Nomads that have been pretty unfun to play. But the rest of the army for Grozny, what does he sacrifice to get the Elephants? He's got Numidian Spearmen, 2 Desert Vigiles, 4 Legions, of course, and the 1 Numidian Lights. And he still has a very strong Cav force, which makes sense. He's basically just full rushing here. He has 4 Army Mini Riders and 2 of the Armored Desert Cav. So 6 Cav plus the 2 Elite Cav, the Jav Cav. So that's a lot of Cav, which obviously is what you want here. Is you're just rushing and you're going to try to tie down as many units as you can. You know, just attack everywhere pretty much. The Jav Cav are going to come in behind, and then the Elephant is just going to run through everything and hopefully kill Disciples. Like, the Elephant kills 1 Disciple, right? That's pretty much GG. Like, even though they cost the same, everything else for Numidia is much stronger. I guess 1 Disciple is probably not enough value, to be honest. Well, yeah, it kind of is, because the Jav Cav are also going to be super effective killing the Kushite Rearguard. But killing the Kushite Rearguard is going to be a problem. And the other thing is that the Elephants will take up so much attention that maybe, you know, Grozny will be able to run down some of the cheap tiers, get into the Slingers, something like this. So, Soul using his Kushite Slave Spears very aggressively, but now that they've used their Jav Volley, they can just be killed. And Grozny obviously knows this, and he's going for that attack now. But maybe thinking he wasn't in time, these guys might get their reload in, which they probably did, to be fair. Yeah, you can see they're actually going to throw again. They have long arms, good range on that unit, but now they've used both Jav Volleys. Okay, Soul did send a Cav out here to help. I mean, realistically, this Cav will easily destroy both of these units if it gets a charge on the Spears first, but it would be costly, and of course, the other Cav would just come and help, so not worth it. But you can see he's already distracting 2 Slave Spearmen. I would say Grozny should just wait and get more of a distraction. I guess 3. He's got 3 Slave Spearmen and the Archer back there, so never mind. I think that's enough value from the Jav Cav being behind. Now he's going to get some free shots here as well, if he so chooses. Although these guys will also get some nice volleys here. Killing 3, that's not bad. And the Archers are in support as well. Soul's obviously going to kite because he can just shoot with his Slingers for free, but Grozny can just attack and force a fight. They're going to get a Pila Volley here. Nice Pila Volley, kills 12. Well, maybe some already died to Slingers or something. No, they got 15 kills instantly, so that's great value. Desert Cav get in for free though. Oh, Pila in the back. So this Armored Desert Cav is pretty much dead. Oh, I'm getting peeled hard here. Actually gets out there pretty clean. That was a good escape. But getting peeled here, A lot of early Pila on the cavalry of Kush. But the Disciples are not in yet. Maybe a little bit worried about the Elephant. The Elephant coming in through the right here. Gonna just go on this Disciple, I would assume. Kill it. And as it looks pretty safe, I mean, the Archer is there, I guess, but now the Jav Cav are coming into play as well in the back lines. The Cav need to be starting to flank around. But you can see here, all the low tiers are dead for Kush. Like, literally 3 low tiers are already dead. and then 3 of them are out of the fight. So there's no low tiers here anymore, it's just disciples, and there's going to be a lot of casualties on the Cav of Kush for trying to shore up these lines, right? These Kushite real guard, okay, they're actually fine, but this one's already lost 9 men. This one is actually going to win this fight, but now you can see with the low tiers dead, now the gaps open up, right? And now Kush is defending against too many threats with too few units. This is the problem with Kush. If your low tiers die, now all of a sudden, yes, you have elites, but you only have 6 elite cav, right? Or 6 elites, 3 cav and 3 disciples. And they cannot kill a high number of quality units. Like, these cav are obviously going to lose 1v1 to the royal cav. Well, there's only 3 royal cav, so you might lose in some places. Like here, you're giving up this Numidian, but it'll survive for a bit. You're killing this, and you're going to get into these slingers because there's only so many royal cav to kill things, right? And some are engaged already. Maybe unnecessarily, but still. And over here, where these shitty cav are, they're just gonna die. Elephants can kill disciples. So this looks pretty decent. Gonna get charged into the disciples, although that will hurt long term. But again, it doesn't really matter too much. Armory Numidian cav getting into this fight. These guys can get a charge. This micros it. Yep, there we go. And you can see there's a big blob here, but the elephant is going to run over these disciples and just kill them very quickly and get a ton of value doing that. And these fights in the backlines are not going to be very good either. And there's still quite a bit of cav left. 2 Kushite Royal Guard are pretty healthy though, the general and this one. The other one's going to die over here. But the elephants have not yet been stopped. I think one of these guys doesn't even have a jab volley. One disciple is just dead. For all intents and purposes, because these guys aren't throwing Pila, so they don't have javelins. These guys don't have javelins, so now you're just feeding the beast, and there's a second disciple right here for the slaughter, so yeah, elephant's getting a ton of value instantly, and the archer really needs to be shooting this, but even if you unmuck the elephant here, like, it's just gonna still keep killing things, and you're not gonna kill the elephant very quickly. You know, maybe the spearman eventually will start to kill, but not after the elephants have just done an absurd amount of damage. Getting into these disciples, and you can see eventually the cav with support is gonna do quite well here. And yeah, forgetting about this Kushite Real Guard was just too much to handle, really. Now the Chen can just come and clean up these archers, and of course the elephant is just unstoppable here. Yeah, it will kill some of his own men, but that's okay. He can afford that to kill the disciples, which he's definitely doing a very good job of. I mean, a lot of these kills are disciple kills, so that's why he's going to get 3 shebs very quickly. And now these cav are just surrounded. I mean, there's not much left to fight for here. Getting some good Pila even. He's routing units onto the cav, or not with his routing, the stationary units into the cav. Disciples, 109 kills. Like, they still did okay, but obviously not enough value. I'm trying to see where the other one is, but don't know. And over here, sure, your disciple is going to win easily, but it's, you know, not going to be enough, obviously. So yeah, elephant was insane. Now it's just gonna farm his own units, but like, the game is already over, so it's all good. Kushite Real Guard, you can see even against such a number of units, it's still doing quite well, but it just can't escape because there's cav in this fight. More cav is coming in, and it doesn't really matter that, you know, the fight is kind of already lost. Elephant came back now with 300 kills and 3 chevrons, so very nice. Trying to swap the other disciples, but I can't. Oh well. But now, yeah, now it's just over. And these disciples doing well, but elephant is a counter. But yeah, still didn't deal with them very well. He had a lot of units use their Pila on the Javcav, which is just not worth it when you need to eventually kill the elephant somehow. And then allowed himself to get very blobbed up so that Javcav could just disrupt the archers from shooting. You can see 9 kills on the archers, which was really the one unit that was going to stop and the elephants from getting this much value. So tough, but you go to game 3, and now you probably expect the elephant. At least, you know, maybe Grozny would switch, but if he does bring another elephant, you know what you have to do, hopefully. So, let's see this time. Is there anything different here? Yes, there's way more Nubian bowmen. That's a huge difference. Less cav, so this removes 1 elite cav. Oh, actually, okay. Interesting. So he removes 1 elite cav. He has 2 elite cav and 3 armored desert cav. Now he has an armored Shotel, and it's just a Shotel spam. So 4 Shotels, 1 slave. 3 Kushite slaves, 5 Kushite slaves, and 3 Nubian bows and 1 slave slinger. So a lot more infantry heavy in a sense, but also less elites, right? So stronger infantry corps for sure, with the 4 Shotels and the armored Shotel. I mean, that will do very well into the 4 legionnaires and the 1 Numidian light. Of course, the elephant still has something to say about that, but he has way more elephant counters with the 3 bowmen this time. So a big chance of mucking the elephant before it can do a significant amount of damage. Again here though, using the Pila on the, I mean, he's getting good shots on the armored Numidian cav, so kind of worth it, but not having these Pila for the elephant is a little scary. Because now Grozny should say, okay, this side doesn't have Pila as much. If I tie down this unit, right, now my elephant can just go through there and it's less likely to die. You know, whereas going into this side, you'd be facing the extra Pila potentially from this unit at some points. So okay, let's skip. The skirmishing, just drawing these guys out of place. Are they gonna throw? No. Okay, they're leaving 1 Pila volley, so that's actually smart. You know, at least they can throw a single volley, but that might be, you know, a single volley of Pila is more than enough to kill the elephant. If you have anything else shooting at it, the Pila is just gonna muck it, and then it's just kind of dead. Here, wasting a bit more Pila, but getting kills and HP damage, so not really a huge waste as long as he keeps the extra volley, I think. Here though, these armored desert calves never gonna catch the Jav calves. They're just gonna take unnecessary losses. And Grozny want to push the attack while this guy's gone, which makes a lot of sense. Not the best Pila volley, still gets 5 kills, maybe a bit more. These guys might also throw some Pila, yeah they did. So getting a good number of kills on the cav early, but losing those low tiers, which is a problem. Oh, nice shots though. Yeah, archers are so deadly against the armored Numidian cav. He did outmaneuver these hunters though, so now I can just kill the archers for free, kind of. Oh, it doesn't get a charge here, so this unit's pretty much going to be dead. The legions are not going to fare well against Shotels either. Like, legionnaires are not great in that fight. He's losing a lot of extra cav here as well, which is not good. So see these cav, 44, 45, that one's 60, this one's going to be starting to drop. But the elite cav are getting in, the Jav cav, getting a lot of kills here, but they can't get caught. If they get caught, this is really bad. I mean, they're getting caught here as well. So now he needs the elephant to break through like right now in order to capitalize on this. Otherwise, these units are just dead for no reason. These armored Numidian cav did just kill the chasing desert cav with their Pila, so that's really nice. And okay, surrounding this Shotel as well. But you can see the Shotels are just doing great in these fights. Armored Shotel as well, pretty much has no counter, but Shotel here, it's close I guess. Here they'll just win easily. Oh, these Jav cav getting caught again, they need to escape. Can't afford to lose them here. And the elephant, yeah, got him mucked. 5 of 9, only 57 kills. Again, when you have more archers, right, like, it's very easy to do that. But they did get a breakthrough here. As long as they come back from a mucking, it's not the end of the world. They are suiciding. Oh, no. Okay, it wasn't the end of the world, I guess. But now the archers, you can see, have so much impact. And of course, the Jav cav dying here is so bad. I mean, they're not dead, but they're not in great shape. Whereas the Kushite Royal Guard are quite healthy. He is tying everything down though, so the archers will die to this cav. But okay, and the elephants are back, so the elephants now can cook. There's some cav in reserve as well that can get a lot of kills. If the elephants, yeah, get into the gen, be useful. Probably needs to, oh, he needs to get into this archer. Like, this is not a priority. He needs to kill the elephant. Okay, he will do so though with the armored Numidian cav. These elephants need to keep moving though. They need to keep moving, keep getting charges because they need to win the game right now. This is gonna be quite close. Like the general, 40 men's pretty okay. This cav is pretty healthy. The elephant is still pretty healthy. But oh, another mischarge. So a lot of the cav dying without getting charges. These armored Numidians. There was one armored desert rider. And now this armored desert cav as well. These elephants need to get out of here. They don't want to fight against the Shotels for too long in stationary combat. They want to just keep on moving. But they are killing the armored Shotels. So they get their value, 140 kills now. Chevron, he's going to get in the back of the Shotel, kill that off as well. You can see the Shotels are starting to do some damage. They should break. Oh, I killed another one actually. That's pretty impressive. They might actually do a lot of damage to the gen as well. And these armored or Kushite Royal Guards are still super healthy. So they're going to take a lot to kill. And with those Jav cav dying for pretty much free, it's just going to be too much, I think. Especially because these Shotels are winning as well. So, yeah, it was very close still. The elephant did get the value, 2 chevrons. That's fine. But in the end, I think it was the Cav. So much Cav died early on, like to Pila from archers, and also from not getting charges. Especially the two elite Cav, the Jav Cav, just need to survive until late game when they can just do so much damage with javelins and of course the melee as well. But now, yeah, the Shotels also just did a really good job. So it was a good pick from Seoul to go Shotels here. You know, they have Pila. There's no elites, so the elephant doesn't get as much. I mean, there was their one armor Shotel, obviously, but there's less elites for the elephant to get value on. You're more spread out, like your value is more spread out. It's not all in 3 units. So in that sense, it was a good pick, even though the disciples obviously are so good. But with the elephant in play, getting those extra archers as well is quite useful. So well played to Seoul. He comes out 2-1 ahead, I think. So yeah, you can just see the elite Cav. There's no counter here, right? Like it's really the Jav Cav, which did still get pretty decent value, but they really need to be killing the Kushite Real Guard if you want any chance, because nothing else will. Like these Shock Cav will easily kill the Armored Desert Cav. These Armored Desert Cav can get into the Slingers, maybe tie down the Kushite Real Guard for spear support. But with an army like this, where you don't have the good spears, you really are relying on these army minions to get 200 kills, 2 chevrons, kill a bunch of these elite Cav, that sort of thing. So that was probably where the hardship was. Of course, also the Shotels just did really great in their combat. Shotels are a great unit. Like, they have 55 health, so they can get shots pretty easily. But outside of that, they do quite well. So yeah, GG's. I'm gonna delete this. I don't rewatch it. Next up, we have Mishelka versus Sky Element. So Iceni versus Rome. It's quite a good matchup. Very interesting as well. I mean, Sky Element's probably been one of the better performing players, I would say, in the tournament. Mishelka also has been like topping his group pretty consistently. Obviously, both have very good factions, so that helps a lot. I mean, no doubt. But now they must fight each other, so it'll be interesting. Mishelka, as I've seen, what does he have? He has, what, 1 Heroic Noble at least. 4 Chosen Swordmen with 1 Heroic Noble. Opting for no more infantry. I don't think that's good, because they can take up to 7 infantry, so you really probably want to replace some of these spearmen with swordmen just to get more kills. Even though they're not great, and yes, there's a big cavalry threat from Rome, you need to lock down the infantry fight a little harder. Now, he does have 3 Chosen Spearmen, so that is quite good, but they just lose to Triarii. But maybe he doesn't need more infantry. I don't know. It's a bit sus to me. Like, I think these guys are just worse than swordmen in every way. Maybe they have better armor or something? 45, 50. I think swordmen have these stats, but I'm not sure. Maybe they have more health by 5. Not quite sure. Either way, 4 slingers, pretty standard. 5 cav, so 5 veteran riders. Again, gonna really suffer to the better cav of Rome, like the Extraordinarii. And also going to suffer the missiles. Of course, Rome is going to be packing Syrians probably, so they don't want to really take Pila. They don't want to get shot too much, but they're a decent unit in melee, and obviously they'll help get some charges. But he's really relying on these guys to just break up the charges of Rome and then get his better infantry in and cook with that. Now, Rome has 2 Syrians and a levy, which is interesting. Not sure what that will do, but it can't kill the veteran riders, obviously. There's a Vigile on either flank with a Stadi. And then Triarii, 2 Triarii, 3 Triarii. Okay, wow, 3 Triarii. That's pretty crazy. Veteran Legionnaires, 3 of those. And 1 more Hastati. So 3 Hastati, 3 Veteran Legionnaires, 3 Triarii is a very, very strong infantry force. He will suffer more in the cav department, but he still has the 2 Extraordinarii. He still has 2 Sake Equites. 3 Sake Equites. Okay, because he has the levy, I guess he makes a bit more money. He has the Legalis here. So his infantry is pretty strong. I mean, he just has 6 good infantry for their cost, Hastati and Vet Legions, and then 3 elite spears in Triarii, which will perform pretty well into the Chosen Spearmen, I would imagine. Let's quickly check their stats. 28, 26, 15, 22, 28, 26, 15, 22. So, better attack, weapon damage is way up, better charge on the Triarii even, 64 defense, 95 armor, 65 health, so way better defense. Armor was 95 on the Triarii, like that's an insane value. 65 health, so just way better. Triarii just way better in pretty much every measurable category. 10 more morale as well, so they will nuke these guys. Now there are no of course, the infantry for Iceni is much better. Like, Chosen Swordman will do fine with fighting veteran legionnaires, and of course will nuke Hastati. But it is 65 in the melee department. And then you have, you know, one extra low tier, 2 Vigilantes to 3 Spearmen, and Spearmen are just better. And 4 Slingers against sort of 2 Syrians and the Levy, but also 1 extra Cav for Rome as well. So, I mean, I think Rome is better here, certainly, with these armies. But the Slingers are a big threat. Like, the thing is, Iceni can just play for the Slingers, right? Like, they can just shoot and shoot and shoot. Rome kind of has to initiate the attack, which will give Iceni the advantage, right? Reacting is going to be easier than attacking. Hitting Sky Element's Cav in the back a little bit here, losing 2 horses already. Nice. Not sure what these Slingers are doing, though. Here, a nice little charge on the Spearman, but the Spearman is going to run away. Not sure I didn't lose more, to be honest, to a charge. Maybe the charge was not very good. Trying to get out of there, escaping from the Hastati. Triaria gonna eat shit in the back, which is quite nice, actually. This really evens out the fight, taking these volleys in the back, just killing a bunch, doing a lot of HP damage. But now these Chosen Swordmen are overextended. You can see he's trying to just kite out for the Extraordinaria charge. These Hastati a bit overextended as well, though, but this matters more. Didn't get the Peel volley off. Will take a good amount of Slinger fire, but still, Veteran Legionnaire is just going to now cook this Chosen Swordman, which got a bit overextended. This is the problem for Iceni, right? Iceni doesn't want to get their Cav close to the front line, whereas Rome is willing to do that, even if they get shot up pretty hard. Here, a nice charge for the Chosen Swordman into the Veteran Legionnaires. It'll be a close fight. Is that throwing Pila? No, they have 3 kills already. You can see the Cav for Rome is taking a beating, like, already losing 10 men, probably a lot of HP damage there. The Cav for Iceni is perfectly healthy, and yeah, the Slaughter units are dying. But now the Syrians target the Vet Riders, and instantly it's big trouble. The Gen also probably can get in here and just turn this fight, but look how quickly these Chosen Swordmen lost after eating that charge. The Gen has to go help here. Okay, so fine. The General will obviously nuke the Vet Legions. Good Pula here on the Psyche Equites, but still Chosen Swordmen just losing a lot of men before seeing any sort of real combat, which is a problem. But these Veteran Legionnaires are also quite weak. I guess Triaria are going to come in here and help on the Chosen Swordman here. Now the General also going to eat some sword side fire, which is really bad, obviously. Don't want that to happen. But should just cut through this unit pretty quickly. It is a Roman unit. Now, Veteran Legionnaires in the back. Pretty much no answer for them, because again, you have so few quality infantry units here. You have a full Chosen Swordman on the flank, though, so the flank is being dominated by Mishelka. Now he's going to go for the Slingers with support, so that's quite nice. If he can just hold on here, he is going to get a couple of good fights here. Maybe he can get even more Cav into this fight. Come flank around with more shit. But it's Extraordinary, I do present a big threat. They basically just one-shot the Vet Riders, so that's annoying. They try to go back charge the minions here. You can see the Spearman just losing hard to the Triaria here. And the General is surrounded, so he's going to start to drop pretty quickly as well. Nice shots here, but only for a bit, because this Legion is just going to cut through these Spearmen like they aren't there. Nice charge here, but there is support. I mean, kind of flattened the Spearman though, so it doesn't really help too much. Over here, Vet Legions are winning. The Slingers are healthy though. The Slingers can do a ton of damage if the Cav dies, but the Cav actually needs to die, and that's not really happening so far. And if the Gen dies, it's not really going to matter, so especially with the infantry winning so hard over here. So yeah, Roman infantry just winning, got better charges with his Cav. He did lose a lot of Cav for it, but it's very hard for Iceni to chase into the backlines of Rome because their Cav just dies so fast to the Shock Cav, die so fast to Archer Fire, etc. So they really rely on that support, and the support obviously is just infantry, so it moves slowly. Yeah, maybe having the Gen and the Cav unit for Iceni here is wiser. Yeah, but the Slingers are still going to cook. And there is enough Cav here to cause problems. Instantly pulling back. But, yeah, I mean, the Cav's now getting in. The Gen had just died as well, so this Slinger kind of is dead. And, you know, there's infantry support in these fights as well, so the Slingers could do a lot here, for sure, but they're not going to do enough. 29 socket, which is there. Just gonna trade down with these Vet Riders. And there's, you know, there's a couple cav units left. You see, the Extraordinary is killing the Vet Riders so fast that, you know, the Vet Riders don't really get to get into the melee and start winning that fight. Now there's only 3 slingers. Also, the Syrians are alive still with quite a bit of ammo to, you know, shoot down these slingers. So this should be, you know, nothing. Just, yeah, any charges that Rome got was just instantly decimating. Like 3 Chosen Swordmen getting no value. This one just killed fodder units, doesn't even have a chevron. So the infantry for Rome just totally hard to stop, for sure. And let's see if there's a strike back in game 2 from Mishalka though. Interesting build for Sky Elements, but okay, I guess the levy didn't really do anything last game. Fine. This time 3 slingers only, fine. Probably 4 is still fine, but I guess he's worried about the cav, so he has a lot of better cav this game. He's got the Gen and the Heroic Rider. He also has 5 Vet Riders. 1 Heroic Noble, 2 Heroic Nobles, wow. 2 Heroic Nobles, 3 Chosen Swordman, and then 2 Swordmen with 4 Levy Freemen as support, so no Elite Spears. I mean, that's also problematic just because the Triarii now have so much potential to do good things here because there's just no answer for them. And all this extra cav for Iceni, it's like, how much use are you really going to get out of it because of how fragile it is? Basically, he needs to overwhelm Rome with an army like this, which he can do. You know, he has the Sword Band, he has the 2 Heroic Nobles, which can, you know, if they're not getting shot, because the Assyrians have to worry about cav, then they can just run through an infantry unit and then get into the back lines, and then all of a sudden it's a big problem. But Rome has also changed their army slightly. 2 Avocati, 1 Principe, 3 Astadi, 3 Triarii still. Just slightly weaker infantry force. Still going double Syrian, makes sense. He's a dog, which I guess could get into the slingers. And honestly, there's a chance that that works. I mean, still probably not worth it. But I guess sometimes with Rome, it's like, what else are you going to spend the money on? Like, for example, you could go Equites and then take another Syrian. Probably be good. But you just have 2 sack Equites, 1 regular Equite, and 2 Extraordinarii. So a bit worse cav, a bit worse infantry. But has the dog, I guess, is the compensation. I don't think you'd really call that compensation usually, but that is the change he's taken. Slightly worse cav, slightly worse infantry. I mean, nothing major, but slight. And then I see there's way more cav, 6 against, you know, 5 plus the Gen here, including the elite cav, which doesn't really have an answer. But way worse support, 1 less slinger, and the 3 Chosen Spearmen are not there. The Chosen Spearmen weren't getting much value anyway, so understandable. Schalke's just going to skirmish with his slingers a little bit. The Syrians could just take that fight, I guess, and they're starting to do so. Actually getting some nice shots there. Getting 1. Schalke putting his general on the flank to keep him a little bit safer, which is good. Especially if he wants to attack on this link, he can use the gen abilities and such in that position. Like I say, the Syrians are just going to shoot these slingers and say whatever happens, happens. And they're getting sort of a sword side. See? So that's going to be a problem. Missing a lot of shots in those Equites though. Here comes the general though, just going to charge down this, what is it, Vigile? Gonna get a little bit of peel from the Saudi, but the Swordmen are also going to get in. Heroic Noble trying to look for this Triarii. Dogs did get released and actually gonna get in pretty clean, so I like that. I'm just gonna kill this slinger and then go to the next ones. The dogs got used pretty perfectly. Another nice Extraordinary charge into the Heroic Noble. Not the best charge, because the Odin Men got in the way, but the Heroic Noble's in trouble here, just isolated, far from help. Here, the Avocati are gonna trade with Chosen Swordman. Avocati will win that, obviously, it's just better. Is Cav trying to help the slingers, but look how fast the slinger is dropping. This is why the dogs can actually be really good, if you can get them in clean. If you can't get them in clean, it just sucks, but... Killing that slinger. If it kills the whole unit, it will then go to the nearest unit, so maybe that would be this Vet Rider. It depends on where the units are when the entire unit is killed. Otherwise, they'll keep chasing them until they flee the battlefield, and then they'll just chase them off the battlefield.
Quickly now.
Here, Extraordinary are gonna eat the charge from the Heroic Rider, but you know, those charges will hurt the Heroic Rider. I mean, they'll hurt the Extraordinary more, but with the fire coming in, there are Artillery Freemen support, but this rear charge is gonna come in, and okay, General does get a charge, I suppose. Not a great charge though. But yeah, General is definitely in trouble here. There is a Vet Rider coming over to help, 2 Vet Riders, so maybe they can clean this up in time. General also supporting with the abilities. On this flank, see Terrarii fighting this Chosen Swordband, actually doing a pretty good job fighting that. Swordband here, losing to the Avocati. Here, more fights coming in. Where's the other Heroic Noble? Okay, that is the other Heroic Noble. Look at some pretty clean fights here. But yeah, the Terrarii with no counter are willing to sacrifice themselves, go into square. They won't die for a very long time against the Heroic Noble. And then, you know, these Hastati can just go do something else, maybe help win this fight or flank or whatever, right? So the General died for Iceni, which is a huge problem. So yeah, just got sandwiched there. Support was a little too slow. And now, I mean, now he will suffer, clearly, without the gen. And look at the health of the Roman cavalry, like, very, very healthy. Slingers were not able to do much. Look at the dogs. They killed the entire unit. You can see, like, the last guy died, like, here. And they just came flying back in. Now they're killing a second unit. So I click on the dog here. But yeah, so nicely played. 114 kills, pretty much all on slingers from the War Dogs. So they actually did pretty good. And again, it's just Mishelka not able to get his slinger or his cav activated, whereas the cav for Rome, although it was dying, was getting a lot of value. Obviously, killing the general just too much there. Was still sort of close because you can see the cav was not very healthy, but a few cav with the Syrian support and the infantry that he had alive was enough. And of course, yeah, Heroic Noble just not getting the value again. He was getting baited out by Scalment too much, like Scalment retreating and then charging with some cav once the Heroic Nobles were a bit more isolated. Sorry, but yeah, that's pretty good for Mishelka. Now we have another Mishelka game, this time against Simplified, so Massilia against Iceni. Another really good matchup. Kind of similar to Massilia Rome. I mean, I think both factions are just strong infantry, won't really take Javkev, have these problems that way. But again, it's really a question of the cav for Iceni. If the cav dies too much to the Lancers, then, you know, Lancers will just kill everything, obviously. But if they can survive, of course, the infantry for Iceni will cook the Massilian infantry very hard. Let's see, 4 slingers is a lot. I mean, you don't know you're gonna get rushed, but it's pretty likely that Massilia is just gonna fucking send it. So 4 slingers, you're asking them to get a lot of value, but they can't get the value. It also forces the Lancers to go for the slingers, which means that the support will be there to help them. What is the army? It's the same army he brought in the first game, it would seem. So 1 Heroic Noble, 4 Chosen Swordband, 3 Chosen Spearband, and 3 Spearband with 4 Slingers and the 5 Vet Riders. So Tarentine's also a pretty big problem here. Just getting around the back. Something to worry about. Pulls some of your units out of position, which then allows the rush of Massilia to be even more effective because it just has the numbers advantage. Obviously, there's basically 4 more melee units for Massilia than there are for Iceni. And then the Tarentines are S2 more, because there are 2 Tarentines. The 2 Tarentines cancel out 2 Slingers, so there's 2 Slingers for 2 melee units, but the Tarentines also draw back other units to the back, and if they get ignored, they just kill the cav. So the Tarentines are very, very strong. They can also just kill the Slinger, they can kill Bobby Freeman or whatever with the charge, so they have to be respected, and Mishelka is doing that by putting the Chosen Spearband back there, but that again leaves him vulnerable in other places. The army for Simplified, 4 Bobby Freeman, 2 Celtics, 4 Axes, and then 2 Massilian Hoplites. So getting those 2 Massilian Hoplites is sort of extra melee infantry, basically good infantry. So he basically has 8 with 4 Levy Freeman, and then 4 Ipaeus Lancers, 2 Massilian Cav, and the 2 Tarentines, of course. So very, very rush heavy army, no slingers, just fucking full send, get around the flank before the Chosens kill you. Basically, that's the goal, because the Chosens will win. And you want as many charges as possible on the Vet Riders with your Lancers. you know, make them charge you to block charges into your infantry, and then, you know, the first charge, they will survive, but they'll be weak, and the second charge, the Lancers will just obliterate them. So, that's what you're hoping for, and you're hoping that the support of Iceni isn't able to get in your cav fights as much as you are. As long as you have support, you can pull your Lancers out, cycle around, and get a second charge. So that's sort of what you're looking to do with Massilia. Iceni really just needs their slingers to cook. Like, their slingers can just shoot down the 2 Celtic warriors, for example. Then the infantry fight will be so winning for Iceni that more and more units can be put to the reserve fight against the cav. And if the cav can't get value from Massilia, then it will just be GG. Very aggressive play here.
Quickly now!
Let's see if that pays off for him. It should be fine. He's just running this way. Yeah, a few people there missing, but you know, nice try. Let's see. I mean, trying to kite obviously makes sense for Mashelka. He wants no part in early engagement when he has the slingers. But of course, if he runs away too far, then the Tarentines are a problem, and also he can just get charged frontally. So that's what he has to look out for.
Riders forward!
Any Pula? No. I'm gonna just shoot the Chosen Spearband. But we'll bait out a Pula volley, so that's quite good. Nice shots from the Slingers of Iceni on the Lancers. Oh, really don't want to be moving parallel to the Slingers like this. They will just absolutely nuke you. Oh my god. And yeah, he didn't really feel a threat, which there wasn't one, so he was able to shoot and pull away. And you can see nice having more reserve Slingers to shoot anything that tries to get close now. And then you can just shift and rotate and keep his Slingers firing until eventually they get suppressed, but that will always happen. And you can still shooting Cav and getting a lot of kills on Cav, which I just can't understand how valuable that is. I mean, Semper really just needs to attack. There's no point trying to attack one flank. Your army is wide. Just go around. Mashelka has a nice sort of defensive formation here, which is cool. The Lancer's gonna charge the Spearband. I don't really know if that was necessary. So now the Chosen Swordband gonna get in here with a charge. Lancer's gonna take a lot of damage. Didn't use any cav to block that charge because it was just charged into a useless unit. So that helps a lot. So the meat shields are doing their job. Doing their job again here, but actually a pretty quick charge. About 3 volleys of Pula or something, so we'll kill, you know, 10 guys on the Lancer. General gonna get in here and just own Massilian Hoplite, but there will be winning fights, so here, for example, are gonna be tough. Although he is trying to pull out his Vet Rider here, or pull out his Chosen Spear so his Vet Rider can get a charge. And that's sort of happening, but his own unit, his stupid Spearband, got in the way of that charge. And now this guy's getting pummeled in the back, so this Spearband's going to do pretty poorly. Fights all up and down the line, nice YOLO charge here. But you can see Mashelka's keeping his cav very healthy. He's saying, look, I will accept some early losses, so my slingers can just shoot, because now you cannot really go to the rear lines. Like, your Lancers are weak, my slingers are all alive, my cav is super healthy, they can eat a Hypaeus charge and still survive. And meanwhile, the slingers are just cooking the cav that are in range. And you can see, like, right now, the momentum is stopped for Simplified. He has nothing getting around the flank. The question now is, does he have winning fights? Because winning fights will open up his flanks. Maybe here he's winning. Maybe here he can win because he got a YOLO charge. Only a Chosen Swordband, you can see they're down to 90. So yeah, he will win here. He will win here. But probably nowhere else, really. But that's fine. That is 2 flanks. These Levy Freemen can cycle out to the flank. Then, you know, they'll be met with a Spearband. Maybe the Tarentines can then do something. But meanwhile, the Slingers just continue to kill. I mean, look how many dead Lancers are there. Pretty devastating. And the Slingers just waiting. Getting them range and I will shoot you. And Mashelka says, look, I have no rush. Like, I trust my infantry to win this battle. And they probably will do that. Sneaky Levy Freeman, though, getting in here. Trying to Pula, maybe? Something in the back would be good. Tarentines maybe getting caught almost, but not quite. You can see Chosen Spearband just gonna get a free kill. I mean, look how much cav is just dead to the Slingers. I mean, Simplified not really making any progress here towards the Slingers, except for this one Levy Freeman that did sneak in. Actually, will be really annoying. You can see forcing 2 Slingers to move, forcing all 4 Slingers to move, frees up a lot of time for Simplified's units to do something. But there's no breakthroughs, and his infantry obviously is going to start to lose in many places. On the right, for example. And this isn't really a long-term threat. I guess with the Levy Freeman, maybe it's a little bit worse. Finally getting the Slingers there. but he's just losing in so many places. He can bring reserves back to this fight, but the slingers will die, so that is a huge pickup for Simplified. It's just a question of how much will be left. I mean, he's still got a pretty healthy Axe Warrior here winning this combat. He's still got this Axe Warrior winning on this combat. This is a good fight long term, so it's not over. There are a lot of healthy units. Again, this Cav is just healthy, and they will eventually kill the weakened units of Massilia that have already taken a lot of damage. See, the Lancers are pretty much all gone. There's only 2 left, plus the Gen and the Massilian Cav. So you would say that's probably not enough to kill all these healthy units, especially because they're spears. And the remaining infantry of Iceni can clean up the remaining Massilian infantry, probably. Likely even. But now some charges are getting in, but again, there's just so much healthy Cav, and not a whole lot of healthy Massilian Cav. So yeah, Simplified just taking too much damage from the slingers. Also, like, this whole rotation thing, like, there's no point. Just line up the center with their center, and then just attack, right? Attack everywhere, try to get around both flanks, fuck it. Especially when you have the Jav Cav, right? Attacking in multiple places forces the enemy to stay spread out, which is good for your Jav Cav. And yeah, the infantry just doing enough. Chosen Swordband are a great unit, with extra health compared to Chosen Swords of Bernie, which means they have a little bit more survivability. Slightly worse stats, I think, but like, whatever. Survivability does tend to matter a lot. And yeah, good victory from Schalke there. And yeah, just not like going straight into the Heroic Noble is like bad, right? You want to be getting the charges, you want to be baiting out the Pila of the front lines, the Spearband, and then trying to get charges in and kind of avoid the Heroic Noble probably if possible, because it just killed the Massilian Hoplite for free, and that's just a unit that would otherwise kill himself and hold the line. But no good. So we go game 2, and let's see, Simplified gonna change up his approach. Still has a lot of Lancers, so I don't think it's terrible, but I do think it's a little sus. So Schalke's probably got the same army, you can see it's even sort of the same deployment. But he's putting his Chosen Spearmen up front. So now it just becomes very annoying to charge frontally, because these guys will just tank with their very heavy mass. They'll just tank a Cav charge, no problem. The Slingers will do a lot of damage to that pass. There will be Pila from behind, especially because he's got this formation that really allows Pila to come in from the unit behind. So he's planning to just destroy the Lancers, but Simplified has changed his army. He's got only 1 Massilian Cav, he's got the 4 Lancers still, he's got 4 Axes, and 2 Thorax Swords, and a Massilian Hoplite, so his infantry is way better. But he has 4 Slingers. I'm not sold on 4 Slingers. Like, I guess you could use them to like trade down with the Britain Slingers, and they'll do that okay. I mean, obviously they'll lose the Britain Slingers pretty hard, but not like terrible, and the Britain Slingers will use a lot of ammo. So maybe that will help you in the late game, just the Britain Slingers will be weak. Or you can also try to target your own targets, but with the Chosen Spearband and Swordband having so much armor and health, you know, not gonna be easy. Like, the Cav target is, I mean, they can shoot Cav, I guess they can just shoot Veteran Riders, that's kind of fine. And allow the Lancers to do even better. Maybe that's his goal, we'll have to see why he brought them, with how he uses them. Tarentine's going around, causing chaos, doing what they do. He's leaving 1 Tarentine in his own lines, could be useful. To activate it later in the game. Alright, Tarentine, just trying to annoy the Slingers a little bit. Fair enough. Slingers are just trading with the enemy Slingers for now, but now you can see Schalke is going to ignore the Slingers and shoot the Cav, so maybe if Simplified just keeps shooting all game, he will get more value. Kind of falling for this track, right? Like, this is sort of the whole point of this formation, is to get 2 Pila volleys. And now he's getting that. Did catch a Vet Rider here though, and we'll catch this in the back as well, so quite nice. Quite nice indeed there. But some of these Lancers taking quite a bit of damage, like 30 casualties already on that Lancer. Is it getting shot? Yeah, it's getting targeted, I believe. So that will contribute to that. But we'll kill off this Vet Rider. Got through the flank very easily here, so now he'll be able to push the flank, disrupt the Slingers. Shooting the Lancers again here, just getting free kills, tons of free kills. Nice shots from the Britain Slingers. And they are getting shot, but with the 25 armor, like, they're not dying that fast, right? They're already getting a lot of value. They can just pull back, right? And the Slingers will not be able to shoot them anymore, and even if they're a little hurt, it's not the biggest deal. Now this Chosen Spearman is a little isolated, we'll just die. So, right flank is looking seriously good for Simplified. And the left flank is not really yet engaged, right? So this is good, like Simplified wins this fight, help this fight. This Vet Rider is pretty much destroyed, so this Lancer will have a free reign there. The Slingers are there for the end game if the Cav die too much, so there's a lot to look for here. But obviously, Mishelka is stronger in the center, where he's got a Chosen Swordman up against Miscellanean Hop. The flank, again, just owning these Hippeus Lancers so hard. Vet Rider's full strength, got the double Pila probably here. And here this fight also going okay with the Lancer charge, but losing so many men. I mean, half the unit is dead. Trying to cut out this Veteran Rider with his gen, but you should probably just take this fight at this point. You will just kill it. Because there is support on the way, maybe not. Here, Terratine's getting in, but again, there's just so, the Cav is so healthy that Mishelka doesn't even need to attack. Because the charges are being so destroyed by Pila, Mishelka can just keep his Cav for late game. Heal with these Terrantines, deal with weakened Hippeus, surely. But that being said, this is just a winning fight, so that is good. If he just abandons this, well, he can't really fully abandon this, but he could just start focusing on the overwhelming numbers on this side. Get these axes into the spear, into the swords here. Try and kill what you can while you're completely winning over here. Axe Warrior is 110, the chevrons, brilliant. Lancer here is pretty healthy, so it can just get away here. Not sure if it's trying to get a charge, but it did get stuck there, so now it's in a little trouble. The Axemen are coming in. The Slingers are still shooting, which is good. Not sure if the General can really ever take this fight. But Riders here gonna just clean up a lot, and those healthy Cav are just gonna keep cleaning up now. This Hippeus did get into the Slingers, so that will do a lot. But the Hippeus are just dying. There's not enough support, right? Because these fights aren't won yet. Like, he can't chase into these units before he has enough support to help him in all these fights. Because now he's just losing his Cav for nothing to the support of Icenia and their healthier Cav to begin with. And then, you know, they're winning enough infantry fights that potentially they can just win the game that way. And the Slingers might survive, and if the Slingers and Cav survive, of course, with their remaining infantry, they'll probably be able to just kill the Slingers and then hunt down the Cav. But the infantry is kind of just dying, so it's not clear, because this is a Thorax that's just healthy. The Vet Riders will start, you know, they get punished by Pila, they get punished by just taking casualties over the course of the game. The General did catch this Vet Rider as well, get a bunch of kills before he can run away. And now it's actually looking pretty good for Simp. Like, he's got full Thorax, full, like almost full Massilian, almost full Axe Warrior here, small Axe Warrior, almost full Axe Warrior here, and a full Thorax over here, although it is getting kind of to oblivion by this Spearband. The General's still fairly healthy, he has a Terrantine as well. There are 2, 3 Cav on the field, 4 Cav on the field, 5. So all the Vet Riders still alive, although some are quite weak. And the Heroic Noble General, of course, which is a huge threat to society. Massilian society, at least. These Slinger can dump in the back here would be nice. But again, now, I mean, the Cav is just dead, right? So, the Cav is just dead, and it's going to be kind of hard to deal with the threat of the Iceni Cav, right? They're going to kill everything. 2 Slingers behind lines. Probably came around like this. Great migration. If they survive, the Gen survives. You know, Icenia can still easily take this with the Cav advantage and just cycle charge, shoot, and eventually commit the Gen. Let's just clean up right now before we get to the end game. Cav is killing Slingers. The Terrantine is trying to kill the Slingers of Icenia, but Mishelka is able to protect them, giving us so many numbers. Needs to get back into the fight here with these units. Now the Heroic Nobles, just untouched. There's nothing to really kill them at this point. No Cav, no Lancer to block their charge, which is what you would really want. And that will be kind of disastrous with the Slingers still remaining on the field here. So yeah, I think we'll take this probably. I mean, it's starting to drop now, the General, a little bit. Cavalry support does get in, but now there's just 2 full Chosen Swordband, 1.5 Chosen Swordband, I should say. And, you know, there's just not enough support. So, better from Simp there, but again, just losing too much Cav. Like, charging into those, like, T formations with a really, really deep Chosen Spearband and the infantry behind that can Pila. I mean, just charging into that is just asking to get rolled. Because that's formation literally exists to destroy cavalry. He has Slingers and support, of course, as well. So, very nicely played from Mishelka. Getting the 2-0 here after getting 2-0'd by Sky Element, so that kind of tells you how that group was going. But yeah, I mean, just tough against very disciplined. Mishalko was just planning to use his slingers. Simplified probably just using his cav a little too aggressively. I mean, this army was tougher, but in the last game he had the Pila to kind of like play it slow, bait out the Pila of the front line, then get the charges in with your cav probably is the way to go. But I mean, obviously with the slingers being uncontested is hard. Anyway, let's move on. Now we have a Sarah versus Tila. So ODK versus Epirus is a crazy matchup. I expect these games to just be balls to the wall. I mean, ODK kind of has to be balls to the wall. Sarah's been bringing some really interesting armies. This is certainly one of them. Not a single Thracian noble, but he has 5 elite cav, which is just crazy. 2 Thracian cav, a bunch of slingers, 4 of them. New fact, these guys actually have 50% block chance. Didn't know that. Makes them quite useful for ODK because if you just take the Slinger War and your opponent gives that to you, you'll use up all the ammo of the enemy unit basically, if not kill them. So that's quite useful. He also has 6 Thracian Warriors here, so and 3 Spears. So lacking a lot in obvious departments, like just infantry in general is just super lacking, but 5 elite cap is something. Maybe he expected that 5 Aspis Companion army from Tila, but either way, the 5 elite cav are going to smack around any sort of cav that Tila has, and will cause problems, because yeah, you'll win the infantry fight, but if the cav dies at the same time, you're in trouble. If the cav can just not do anything, the infantry will just win, you know, shoot up a couple of the Thracian Warriors or Slingers, and then you have cavalry and infantry against infantry in the endgame, and you're kind of fine. The elite cav, you know, cannot run away from the enemy cav, they get tied down with the melee units, and they just die. Tarentines here are going to be screened off by Spear and Thracian cav, so they won't really get much done. Thracian cav actually do kind of mess up Tarentines in melee, but of course on the charge the Tarentines are superior with their mass. This is a 15-minute game, so I'm going to fast forward as much as possible. I can tell I'm already kind of tired, so let's get this show on the road, people. Here come the Lingers coming up to shoot, just going to trade, and again, Asir is quite happy to do this. He says, look, your Slingers are kind of useless, so I didn't see the army for Tila, so it's 3 Slingers, 4 Thoreos, just kill the fucking infantry, I guess, and maybe cav. Lancers, 2 Thessalians, 1 Hellenic Royal, 1 Italian cav, 1 Hoplite, not sure what that's about, 3 Samnites and 3 Italians, presumably. Yeah. So the extra Hoplite is weird, but 4 Thoreos is decent, and the 2 Tarentines, of course. But it kind of gives the infantry, or the cav power, super in a fair favor with the 5 elite cav against only 4 cav and only 1 of his elite for Epirus. So it's going to be reliant on the Thoreos. The Thoreos here are probably thinking, like, I can just put 1 or 2 volleys into the Thracian Warriors, and then just shoot the cav and help against the cav, right? Because the Thracian Warriors are going to die to your infantry. Like, with 2 Pila volleys and then a Pila volley from the unit that's charging, the unit is just dead, so even if the cavs come in to do something, then they get Pila by the Thoreos, and then the infantry probably still loses. So, yeah, I mean, ODK just has so many problems, man. They just have so many problems that aren't easy to solve. This will help, though. Tarentine is gonna die. Gets a charge at least, so we'll kill something. It was kind of a blunted charge, so not doing much. Just cutting it as he kills this Tarentine. Ended up not taking the most damage. Honestly, that was pretty surprising. It tanked a lot there. It actually got a bunch of kills on the Thracian cav, so they don't end up too badly here. And Tila migrating well to get out of there. Also migrating to shoot back here a bit. But now with the cav and the Tarentines, or the Thracians, sorry, the Thracians are just getting rear shots only on the Tarentines, and they will drop quite quickly because of that, you can see. So, nice coordinated play there to chase down those Tarentines and get some kills. Thoreos gonna get some Pila here, but here comes a nasty charge from the Thracian Royal cav. Boom! Knocking over a ton of Thoreos. They barely took any losses, and they got insta 25 kills to the Thoreos, so that's not good. No counter charge possible. The Hellenic Royal cav is in here in a really suspicious fight, to be honest. Like, he's trying to pull out this way because the Thracian Royal cav charged here and then rear charged the Gen. So the Gen thought, like, oh, I'll just pull it this way, but now you're pulling through this Thracian Warrior, and this Thracian Warrior wasn't really knocked over super much, especially on the side of the unit. So the General's going to take a lot of casualties here mean, instantly dropping super hard. Right from the kind of a lot of value. Over here, nice Pila baiting out this this attack from the Thracian Royals, and gonna get Pila into the side. So well played there. Pila getting some compensation into the link cap. This general's probably just kind of dead, right? Like, okay, pulled out with 30 men, so yeah, pretty much dead. Thracian Royal cap is having so much impact still, killing anything they can see basically. Even if they take a little bit of misfire, it's fine. See, Acer trying to target those slingers as well, just to get them off the field with his own. All these slingers are busy trying to shoot cap, but you can see 46 on that one, 55, here's 49, 53. So he's losing some of his elite cap. His general obviously is full as well, but Epirite cap is also taking a lot of damage. Now he has a timer here because the Thracian warriors are just gonna die eventually, and then once they're dead, I mean that's sort of your whole FG force. It's just a little crazy. See, they are dropping pretty hard. Doesn't really matter if they get value or not. I mean, if they get value, it's good, obviously, but the fact of the matter is, dead unit is dead and will no longer help you. If a Sarah can, or a Steel can keep enough dudes alive, then you can potentially go for the slingers. But that early Tarantine losses are crucial. Like, you can see the Tarantines are both dead. Oh, actually, one's actually alive, my bad. But it's about to die. Yeah, probably about to die. And then, that would be a big problem. Thracian Royal cap though, eating shit. That's good. General has to pretty much stay out of the fight. I mean, Falxmen are kind of dying, or Thracian warriors, whatever. Some are living, that were killing the rails and stuff. And this one's also doing quite well. I mean, the general helping out there with some nice root charges, getting a lot of value there. And yeah, over here, I mean, Empress is pretty winning. So we'll come down to this end game where you can see these slingers are also pretty weak for us there. But there is the healthy Cav, which there is none of for IC, or IC Empress. Maybe over here is like one, not even really. No, everything is weak. The Tarantines. The Gen Hash's fleet, there's a pretty healthy Thracian Royal cap here. The Gen's pretty healthy, small unit here. And these guys plus the slingers can easily kill these remaining infantry. So as long as the Thracian warriors get some value, they're also being helped by some charges and stuff, of course, by the Cav. Then, you know, not be much to do. Of course, it will turn into like this kite situation, and Tila still has chances, of course. You know, he will have a lot of units remaining. So we're gonna tempo real quick. Okay. But yeah, I mean, it's a lot of dudes, but there's a lot of Cav. Maybe trying to snipe the general here as well, cutting him off. This is a great play. Keep him away from the rest of your army, no second wins. Kind of gives up on it because he was not getting there. But can he win this now? It depends on the Pila, I would say, of the remaining units for Empress. But so far the Cav Arg is getting in and doing the damage. The general though, a bit overextended maybe. Pulling back now. Slinger's getting some good shots. Look at these weak units. There is still 2 full Sam Knights though, so Acer has to clean up a lot of Tila's units here. And now with the Gen returning to the fold, the Cav disadvantage is not so big. As well, he is getting shot and charged, so he will die here. Thracian Royal cap probably gonna survive. Now if he just attacks when his general dies, like, general's dead, right? These units are also quite tired. Fresh. Exhausted, like very tired. Just attack now while the general's dead, and maybe you shoot first, but you can break his units very easily. If he breaks, you know, a single unit here, he just wins. He probably wins it anyway. But the slingers have enough ammo to make that. It's pretty much a formality. Trying to just see. I mean, we don't know if there's Pila, but I kind of doubt it. Now, yeah, I mean, now. It just feels like the Empress would rather not be here. They will fight for their lives against cheap slingers, though. I mean, I don't know. These Cav are going to start to drop. How much do we have left here? 20 men and 28. No, I think they still got this. Cav will pull this out. Morale and exhaustion are just a big factor here. Everything's exhausted. Thracian Royal Cav are exhausted also, though, so he's got to wait for second wind before he attacks again. Slinger's also just dumping. Good job facing the fire by Tila. This is General dead. Oh, General recently died. That's not good. You can't second win anymore. And now I can actually hold this potentially.
Gotcha.
I would wait until these Thracian
Understood.
slingers are ready to join the fray, though.
All right. As you
That's a
say.
good thing for your Captain Blood behind.
Katu Walo.
And yeah, exhaustics are slow. They don't do as much impact damage. They die more to infantry and combat. People immediately. Obviously, some are going to be in combat still. Oh, the morale on both sides is very terrible. 48, 21, 30. Again, 17, 10. Fine.
As you say.
But there are Cav. They are getting the better of this combat, so it'll be very, very close. I mean, the balance of power loves loves Empress here, but it's kind of like the other faction better. And yeah, now the routes come in. And all of a sudden the balance of power is like, oh no, I was wrong about that. My bad. So Sarah clutches that out. Very close game. Could have gone either way, but in the end, yeah, just the Cav dying so easily. The General, I think, was the biggest thing. The General going down so fast for Tila in the early opening stages just left a big gap for the Elite Cav to kill a lot, and that's exactly what they did. They just killed a lot. So let's see how Tila reacts. The Thuros also didn't really get enough value, I would say. Something to think about changing for the next game. And no, he's gonna stick with it, seems. Which is very surprising, to be honest.
Gotcha. Riders, forward.
And the third has the same area as well. So we mirror the first game. I believe Cav 6 Thracian Warriors, 4 Slingers, 3 Spears. Or was 3 Spears, I thought. Well, 2 Spears anyway. 2 Spears and 2 Thracian Cav. And then still the 4 Thuros, 3 Slingers, 3 Sam Knights, 3 Italians, 1 Top Plate, 2 Thessalians, Italian Cav, and the Hellenic Royal with 2 Tarentines as well. They're fairly long games, so let's just keep moving. So what does Steel need to do better yet? Just keep your Cav alive, and the Thuros need to be able to shoot, right? They're getting charged and tied down in melee with the Thracians, which they really don't want. They want to be able to dump all their ammo and then just support Cav fights, basically, in melee. Moving in. Again, Tila will be happy to, or Osiris will be happy to trade with Tila in the missile fight. That way he doesn't have to worry about killing the slingers, and you know, his slingers are better. I'm not targeting, but Tila's just gonna walk forward here. He doesn't want to lose the 3-4 slinger fight. He wants to keep his slingers alive to shoot Thracians, right? Like that's the target, and of course the Cav at some point. Let's skip. Nothing's happening. Starts kiting with his better slingers. He takes some pot shots on the Thessalians, which is good. You take those shots if you can get them. The rest killed 6 slingers, but like, not really sure that's a good use of ammo. Seems to be very intentional though. And yeah, now you're just gonna get charged because there's no counter to your Thracian Royal Cav. Just gonna charge this area here into the Thuros, kill them. Well, not kill them, but do a lot of damage, surely. Only now a response from the Italians, maybe some Pila coming in, but no, they're long gone. Royal Cav get out of there pretty much unscathed. Probably actually, yeah, 2 losses, fine. Thracian's gonna charge in though, and instantly get back with a nice cycle charge. Italian Cav taking a terrible charge here, but I guess a couple of them will get some charge hits. Everyone else, okay, I got Royal Cav just taking advantage of the isolated Dureos here. Another unit losing 40 men in the charge. That's good. Sarah just keeps on shooting the slingers. Nice shots here, by the way, into the sword side of these slingers. Well, not really the sword side, but kinda. It's like they're all shooting the front of the unit, so they're just gonna kill these guys really quickly. A great charge here as well, where these Thracians are gonna do awesome in this charge. Over here, Thuros actually getting in the square is huge. Nice fuel as well. Thracian Warriors doing okay, but dying. And this time the Cav for Empress is much healthier, and the Thracians are dying very early. Like Sarah got overextended here. These Thracians chase, get into combat, die. And, you know, that's just sort of before the battle's even opening up. So now you're losing your support for your elite cav. And if your elite cav has no support, I mean, they're just gonna die. Like, they're just gonna die eventually. And I like how Telo's cav is a little bit healthier as well. But the Slingers are still alive. Some of these Falkmen are in some pretty good fights, or Thracians, sorry. Here they're gonna just destroy the top plate very quickly, no problem, go home. But yeah, the infantry, I mean, yeah, they're winning in a couple places, but by and large, Epirus infantry is winning, which is a huge problem, of course. And this Thracian Royal Cav is not even that healthy. 36 here, 35 here, 29. So down to half strength from all that Pila, missile fire, and yeah, even though some of those charges were kind of free, you know, nothing is free in life. He's losing a little bit of men every time, and that is a, you know, not really a worthy sacrifice for the initial charges, because now you just don't have any strength in the mid game. Thoreos just purely where you get close. This time the Thoreos are actually more alive than last game. There's no pressure on the Slingers. The Slingers can just shoot. And yeah, this will probably just be a pretty fast game, honestly. I mean, it's not because there's 7 minutes left, but in terms of the result being fairly decided. The Tarentine getting caught here is a big problem, though. We'll be losing that. It still has one Tarentine somewhere? Not exactly. It's dead. And the Thessalians are getting shot now. And Slingers dying as well. So very opportunistic from Sir, sniping the Slingers, and getting free shots on the Thessalians. So now what's the Cav situation like? I mean, not great. So long term, the Cav has kind of shifted back in Sarah's favor. He's got the full gen. He's got the 2 Thracian Royal Cav little dudes. And he still has the 2 Thracian Cav as well, which are a big threat here. But his infantry is just non-existent. There is no infantry, and there's quite a bit of infantry left. Not very healthy though. So this could go down to a similar thing as last game, where it's just going to be the infantry against the remaining Cav. And that could go either way. The Slinger's going to bait, or not bait out, but waste more ammo of the Thracian Slingers. Thracian Slingers need to finish them off just so they can freely shoot any target that they wish. And these Slingers will die pretty quickly. He's got a 4v2, he's got like really good angle here, just sword side, so it's not like it's a terribly difficult fight here for the Thracian Slingers. What happens next though is the question. Will Sarah rush? I mean, he does have 4 cav. A very small cav, except for the gem, which is full, pretty much. But it is 4 cav, so they can't really easily defend all the Slingers, but he probably could. At least enough to continue shooting.
Quickly now!
Wait, is this Sarah out of ammo? No way, right? He's just trying to target the gen. Yeah, he's just targeting the gen.
Kill! Riders forward! Quickly
Wait,
now!
everything? Okay, targeting the cav. But Tila recognizes that well in advance, gets out of there, doesn't take any damage. The Slingers come back. So now they're going to click on the Odrysian Slingers again. Thoreos might have ammo as well, which would be annoying. They're getting front numb, but you really can't afford a front numb. Here, you don't have enough ammo with the 20 damage Slingers to front numb things. But if he tries to round, there's still enough cav to probably cause problems. Swords out for this Thracian cav. Likely on these 2, yeah, so Thracian cav. There's a turn time behind, causing a little bit of chaos as well. But yeah, now it's just on Asur to use his ammo. If he can't get good shots, he's sacrificing the Thracian cav here to get good shots on cav, so gonna respect that. But not killing the Slingers. Yeah, killing one Slinger, it's okay. But yeah, now just attacking, I guess he was out of ammo, so yeah, there's not enough ammo. And that's the thing, if you want to use those early trade damage early on, which he was doing with the Slingers of Epirus, then you really need to be winning the game with your cav, right? Not your Slingers. Your Slingers don't have enough ammo, especially with 20 damage to kill things in the late game. They're purely support in a game like this. The cav is skilled enough, and yeah, we'll see in the end screens what the stats were like, but I don't think they got very good value. So, pretty comfortable win for Tila here with the same army. But yeah, the key was he killed the Thracian Warriors a lot faster. Thracian Warriors just had no impact this game. Whereas last game, the cav for ODK had gotten so much value by the time the Thracians were dead that the Thracians dying was kind of like fine, you know, expected. On time, maybe even a little bit late. But here, not the case, and that leads to a fairly decisive win for Tila. You can see just the cav not getting enough value. Like, elite melee cav are already hard to get value, and if they're taking Pila, which Tila was doing a better job of, then it becomes very difficult to do anything. Before we start the last game of this series, I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick. So give me 2 minutes. Maybe I'll just no, I'll just wait. Maybe 1 minute. Okay. Sorry about that. I'm back. Game 3. Same army, but different army for Odrysians. I mean, is it very different? I don't think it's very different, but it is different. He's got Thracian bowmen. So he has 4 Thracian slingers, and then he has 2 bowmen. So extra 2 missiles just trying to help kill the cav. Presumably that's what the bowmen are gonna do. Still has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the Thracian warriors. Still looks like he has the 5 elite cavs. He's got the 2 Jav cav, only 1 spear. So basically replace the spear with 2 spears with 2 bowmen. I don't know how he could do that. Are these Falksmen? No. Alright, not gonna lie, that money doesn't really add up to me, but like, whatever. It's fine. Maybe add some chevrons or something. Because the bowmen cost, I guess they don't cost too much more than the spears. Cost 270 maybe? 250? Slinger, or spears cost 220. Steel has exactly the same army, no changes there. So what's the difference here? I mean, the spears weren't doing much. They were just helping screen the Tarentines, which, you know, the Thracian cav can do fine alone. Still has 1 spear. Now he has even more missile power. So he can dump the cav, and if he dumps the cav, again, it is 4v5, the quality advantage for ODK in the Cav department. And of course, it gives them a little more infantry killing power in the late game as well, so that's quite decent. 19-minute games, so these guys were playing for a real long time in their series, goddamn, without the luxury of skipping. But it's an important game, so take your time. Getting some nice shots on the Thoreos, now into the Slingers. And Tila trying to attack on his left, and Sarah's right. The archers are shooting here.
All right, get running.
And now that we force back, might take a bunch of losses here as well. Not quite, so it's fine.
All right.
Charge here from the Thessalians into these spears. We'll just kill them, but good support from the Thracian Cav. Honestly, I might even consider charging them in here, but like, doesn't do that. Just decides to Pila, gets 7 kills, so fine. Not a big deal. Spirit got a kill as well. Elite Cav gonna get a charge here, but we'll take a. Oh my god, it takes so much Pila. Oh my god. Yeah, nice support there from Tila from both sides, just getting the Pila in. Infantry support is a little far away as well. Slinger's dumping the Thoreos, but whatever, I don't think that's a huge concern. Now the Cav trying to go for this Thoreos, but it is fine. Going into square to survive. But yeah, basically just wasting a full Thracian Blood Cav, that kind of sucks. Just the Pila, not even getting a great charge. You can see the Samnites even get Pila off on the Thracian Warriors, so they'll win that fight. Okay, my game didn't crash, thank god. Thessalian's a little bit of an ill-advised charge here, though. I mean, the Thracians aren't going to get knocked over, but they're just going to die, right? Like, the Samnites are just too strong. They'll kill a bunch of Samnites, but they will die as well fairly quickly. And you can see, like, now Asera's flank is just collapsing, right? Like, his infantry is dead so quickly. Yes, he is killing Cav, but now his Cav needs to kill basically full strength infantry, and that's going to be very hard with the remaining Cav and Slingers that Tila still has. So Thracian Warriors, yeah, getting 50 kills, which is dead. Again, you can't expect them to last long, so you need to coordinate your attack on that timing. Here though, these Thracian Warriors just surviving, and probably gonna get a bunch of kills on Cav. These 2 elite Cav just smashing the Italians and Thessalians here. Even the general coming to join the party. And that's a huge problem. Like, this is what objectively Asera wants. Asera wants to kill these Cav quickly and then just go ham, right, with his Cav. And now he can't really do that if these Cav are just alive. Like, there's no reason for these Cav to ever commit to anything, because the infantry is just gonna die. As long as Tila remains condensed so his Pila can shoot Cav, like, you should never have a problem here, really. And now it's gonna be a little more interesting because these Cav are really weak. Thracian's kind of pulling through here, but it's fine. You realize fast enough, and this unit is just gonna die because of that anyway. The Italians are just gonna kill them. So, I don't think it's a huge problem or anything. The Thoreos probably still have Pila though, and look, like, now the infantry is just dead. So this is sort of what Asera was thinking. Okay, now at least I have two more units of bowmen to do some damage when my infantry inevitably kind of just blows up. The Thoreos here getting some nice Pila, but this time it's actually dodged by Asera quite nicely. What's the Cav strength here? Full gen, 20 men there, 42 men there, gonna get killed, but get a lot of kills. I mean, it's just 4 Cav against the fucking world, though. There's just no way I feel like that ever wins. Ah, there's a full Cav. Never mind. There's a full Cav back here, so that is actually quite possible to achieve. And the Cav for Tila is all alive, just very weak, except for the gen, which is kind of full. But the 3 other Cav units and the Tarentine as well is pretty weak. He killed the other Tarentine back here. And now it is just a full skirmish for 14 minutes, so it'll be interesting. The 3 Slingers do pose a huge threat, though, to any sort of skirmishing ideas of Asera, because they can just shoot back, right? And they won't get tons of kills, but if they're shooting the bowmen, which have less range, they absolutely will get value, so that's going to be annoying. Here, Tila bringing his Cav to the flank. Getting one last charge here with these Thracian Royals, and now they're actually stabilizing in this combat, and since the Samnite's routed, you know, these shots are good from the Slingers, but they'll kind of just kill everything in this blob. So Italians also going to take a lot of damage. Over here, the chase is starting to activate, but there's Cav in reserve here. He finally brought back the other Cav from the back of the map as well. And yeah, these Italians can't really take a charge, but the red line is closing in, so all Tila has to do is just push, and then try to catch him with the red line.
Serena!
This flank is looking fine for Asera. He'll start to get some sword-type shots. Could get into the slinger as well with the Thracian Cav. Actually, it's both Thracian Cav, which is nice. You see, Chilla's not really going to make any progress catching the slingers until he gets to the red line, but the red line is close enough that it's probably worth chasing. He's not that tired. But now these Thessalians are dead, and the slingers are going to die as well. That's kind of a problem, you might say. The general will clean up these units though, I guess, so it's not the end of the world. And the general was very healthy. So now it's really just going to be on these slingers. Let's try to look at the kills. So Bowman, 69 kills, nice. 12 kills, these guys should have a lot of ammo. 23 kills, ton of ammo, those guys 6 kills, like, damn. And then these guys have taken a beating, but they are still pretty good on ammo as well. So a lot of ammo, I think, for Odrysians here. Tila decided to not chase the red line, probably because he didn't think he would be able to catch him and he didn't want to get tired, so that's fair. It's a bit like maybe your only chance to catch them here. But I don't know, I've been in many endgames where these slingers are alive, these 20 damage ones, and they just like don't do enough damage to really be annoying. But here I think there's so much cav support that any damage on the Thureos, pretty much in the low tier battalion, will be sufficient to then allow the cav to just have too much value when they charge in. And with, you know, 6 units of missiles, it's just a lot. It's just a lot of fire. So let's triple now. Looks like Tila's content to box here. Just have, what, 1 slinger, 2 slingers left to be annoying. Moving away from the red line now, so red line is no longer really a threat. Cannot be used to Tila's advantage. And, I mean, that, yeah, I mean, it's just going to be a box at this point. He needs to fully surround, though. If he just shoots frontally, I can't see him winning this unless he has, like, so much fucking ammo. We'll just kill the slingers off first, so that doesn't require much work. Bait's out a nice peel volley there. Sword side from the slinger here on the Thureos, but gave it up. Slingers are dead now. I mean, 1 slinger's dead. Thracian Cav getting caught a little bit, but we'll make it out, probably. Slingers, okay, now they're just attacking with the Cav. Trying to get some shots while the Cav are still, you know, while the ammo is still in there. The Cav trying to do a little something. Now the general are gonna get shot. Infantry's trying to support here. And yeah, the general's still very healthy, so fairly inconclusive. I mean, it was kind of costly for both sides of these initial stages. Ooh, losing that whole Thracian Cav kind of sucks. But now I can just dump infantry, and that will be kind of deadly. Again, wherever there's free charges, he's going to commit for the charge. Knows that the Thracian, or the Hellenic Royal Guard, not Hellenic Royal Guard, the fucking Hellenic Royal Cav, does not really want to get near any sort of melee, because if the gen dies, then it'll just be GG. And yeah, the ammo is running out, so still have ammo. Slinger still ammo. These bowmen also still have ammo.
Warriors, move out! Get ready!
General somehow ended up outside of his own men, so now he's gonna get hunted down, which I assume will happen now. Trying to go back to his own men, but just getting caught. That gen being weak now is a huge problem because now the morale really stacked up. And they still a little bit of ammo, right? Like the ammo is critical here to keep in mind. I guess these guys are out though. These guys are out. Just using the ammo units, the general is not dead, so he probably fled, in which case it will be very relevant when the general flees the battlefield.
As you say!
I mean, 17, 29 is not the most, but it's kind of just like last game, except there's actually more cavalry and more slingers, I guess. But they're gonna fight for their lives. They're not tired though. This time the infantry are quite fresh. And looks like they might just hold out, right? Yeah, I'm very tired. And yeah, Tila just doing enough. Wow, so very close in the end. And it just turned out that Acer didn't have all that much ammo. Even though the kills were low, just the 20 damage slingers don't kill anything. And so despite having the extra units and barely nearly winning it, I think what he needed to do, I could go back and watch it and track the general. Let's do that. really quick. When did the general flee? Flee? If he didn't flee yet, he should have waited, right, to attack. Because that general fleeing penalty will be absolutely devastating for the morale. So, just bear with me here when just follow the general in this battle for a bit. So go grab a drink. Might be here for a few minutes, if you know what I mean. Pretty boring game. It's the life of a general. Nothing to do most of the game, just sit around. Let's see, where are we here? Still in the cleanup phase. This will be a while, holy shit. But it's worth it because I wanted to see if the general had already fled. Maybe he had already fled and there was no timing for it, but I think it would be interesting because the general it's like, or flees is like a minus 10 or 15 morale penalty, and that can be used to attack and just break units that are sad that their general has fled the battlefield. Okay, there's the kite box, good. Yeah, I also want to see what happened. Like, the general was in the box and then he left the box, probably just worried about being shot. Yeah, I was trying to shoot the gen, so he went to go chase the station cav. Okay, that's why he got so isolated. So when the general went away, the server was like, okay, I'm just gonna attack, try to kill some stuff. But there was still a lot left, right? And a lot of Pila, a lot of javelins, a lot of just melee units in general. Which is annoying. Costs a lot of Thracian World Cav for sure. Then I reset the box. I thought I caught that Thracian Cav there. It's always an interesting question with the kite. Like, should you use all your ammo first, or try to use some of your cav first, bait this guy in, shoot him, then finish with the missiles? If you use your cav right now, then there's more Pila. Okay, I went to kill archers, I guess. Yeah, if you use your cav earlier, there's more Pila, but then the missiles will have, your missiles will have more impact, shooting the depleted and low HP units. So here's where the gen gets kind of caught. Die here. No. He's still alive for now.
Advance at speed!
Still farming. General's definitely not dead here. Okay, so now the general is about to flee. Oh, it takes me to the different. Oh my god. But now I need to find them. Hold on. Did the general die? No, general did not die. It's 4 men in the Hellenic roll. Nation roll. Trying to see if he's hunting them here. Ah, that's actually the general right there.
Raiders, over!
So you can see that the red line was fairly close, right? So if he just stopped attacking now and just waits, right? Like, don't give these guys any reason to do anything. Just sit there and wait for this guy to flee, or hunt him down and kill him. But if you kill him, then by the time you get back, the penalty is probably over. So you can see he's attacking now, but like these yellow morale units would just break without the gen, I think. Look how close they are to routing, right? But they don't route because the gen is not fleeing, which is in turn costing you a lot of men. Now the general is going to flee now. By this point, only the good units are left, and they don't even say the general fled because I think they have a discipline penalty or whatever. Maybe it's still affecting them, I'm not really sure. But now they're already winning the game. So yeah, if he just waited for the general to flee, I think he would easily have better chances here, because then the Thuros would rout, and then you would get a mass route penalty. I mean, maybe these guys would still be enough, but it's 29 and 105, so not terribly many units. So yeah, very close. Sarah almost pulled it off with the kite. It's a very difficult kite with your infantry being so flimsy, not having Pila, all these bad things, and just putting so much money into not even shock cav, right? It's fucking Thracian roll cav, which are great, but cost 1200, so tis expensive. Tis expensive. Anyway, that detour out of the way, we go to our last series of the day, which is Soap versus Rovan. Arverni versus another Kush, so a lot of Kush games. But it's interesting to see how Kush is doing so well. I personally rate them very poorly. So what does Soap have? He's got, or no, sorry, this is Rovan. Rovan has 3 noble horse. He has 4 heavy horse. So just cav spam to the moon with basically shitty infantry. He has 2 chosens. And what, 3 Celtics, and then a bunch of Levy Freeman and Slingers. And 2 Spirit Warriors. So heavy investment in cav, which is fine. Of course, Kush also going to bring pretty good cav, but the heavy horse are just so much stronger than the armored desert cav, so heavy horse are a great unit to bring this matchup. Soap has 4 slingers, or actually archers maybe. 3 Nubian bowmen and 1 slinger, interesting. He has 3 Kushite royal guard, 2 armored desert cav. He has 3 armored chatels. Oh no, actually 2 in the disciple, interesting. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 slaves, and then he probably has, yeah, like what, 3 Kushite slave infantry, something like this. So quite strong in the elite cav. You know, the Kushite royal guard are going to give the noble horse run for their money. They've actually been better, definitely better for the cost. The missile advantage is huge here as well with the archers, which can do a lot of damage. And of course the infantry advantage also is here on Kush side with the Shotels and the epidemics. But of course, as always, it's about the overall quality of the rest of the units, which is quite poor. And of course, Spear Warriors, Celtics are going to run over Kushite slaves and Kushite spearmen and slave infantry. So it's interesting. Rovan going pretty wide here with like sort of split formation, but Soap just says no, I'll just stick together. Of course, you know, I played this matchup in the con final, and that's what you have to do. Just sit there, play for yourself, don't spread out, play to support each other. And now Roman's just gonna charge and gonna get some nice Pula. Just gonna charge. Big noble horse charging the triple guard. Not really gonna take much damage in the charge here, but the desert cavalry, armored desert cav will absolutely take damage to the heavy horse. But there is nice Pula support, and here a heavy horse is gonna turn into a Kushite real guard. Kushite real guard will start to do damage pretty quickly in this fight. Better mass and better stats as well. So doing damage, but infantry getting in as well. Disciple here though will just cook, and it's also getting in the noble horse. So the noble horse is also getting cooked, which stinks. Yeah, this little horse is just in too deep. I don't even know where it is. Yeah, it's starting to pull out now. But already lost 20 men. It's a huge problem. And now because he was so wide, right? Like, nice job from Soap. This is perfect gameplay. Just run away. Avoid. Oh, catches this unit as well. So catching that is really good. But of course, he will start to kill the fodder units really quick. So, Christian Slave, dead, dead. Armored Shotels getting dumped, which is good. Even though they have a lot of armor, they will still die. One noble horse can rushed off the field, though, for essentially free, which sucks if you're a Arverni fan. But Arverni now is starting to overwhelm on this flank, getting nice charges here that Soap hasn't really reacted well to, and now these fodder units are dying. And of course, as soon as the fodder units start dying for Kush, you're in trouble. And especially with no epidemic or one epidemic, like the Armored Shotels don't kill fast. Like they kill pretty fast. They don't kill as fast as Disciples, which kind of gives you just more time to attack flanks and kill the low tiers. And you can see the Celtics are just doing that. They're going to get in here next, get maybe in the back of the Shotel, start to kill the Shotels. And you can see the Disciples even are not finishing off these Brewers too quickly, even though they are doing it fairly fast. Other Armored Shotels are just in the back of the map, so it's not even getting any kills, which is really bad. You need them to get into melee combat like basically as fast as possible, otherwise you're just losing value with them. Big ass blob here, but with spear support, and there are Celtics as well, but this should be fine for Kush. They can always just pull out. But you can see these units have just gotten overwhelmed. Look how many low tiers are dead. While these guys are doing nothing. These guys are getting surrounded. Disciples even, you know, finally starting to win, but have gotten shot pretty hard. Got peeled in the back by the Celtics, I believe, as well. And yeah, it's looking good for Rovan with the rush, just getting enough value. Lost a lot of cav for no reason, but he was also able to catch a lot of Roman's units with charges, so that just kills those low tiers. And now it's just a kite situation, which still Kush can win. They still have a full armored Shotel, but he's just like one elite unit, just doesn't really do anything, right? It just gets surrounded, fought by more units, can run away from it even because it's just a unit. In terms of speed, this Kush Arrowguard also pretty low. One of them is dead, which sucks. Not sure. Oh no, it's not dead. Never mind. It's quite healthy actually. And the Gen's also fairly healthy, I would imagine. Yeah, 40 men. The cap for Rovan is pretty much dead. But he has the Slinger advantage here. Archer's probably gonna run out of ammo soon. Slinger's all 4 alive, just dumping cav. And you can see these Armored Shotels don't really want this fight. Like, long term, they're just gonna die. Disciples dead with not great value. Not really sure. I missed a charge on them or something, because I'm not sure how Disciples don't just kill everything, given how weak the units they're facing were. And even getting into this fight, which is fine. I mean, 2 for 1's pretty bad. The archers are going to get good value here, but if the infantry win, the 4 slingers alive, these elite cav don't want to try to go hunt down slingers. It's not their job. They will take too much damage. And again, it's just a support thing. Arverni has more support remaining, so Kush therefore will pretty much inevitably lose. The general also very healthy for Arverni as well. You can take care of a lot of stuff. And now you just don't feed the armored Shotel. You just ignore it. You kill everything else. Easy game. I mean, like, even this doesn't make any sense. You're like, why go for this? The Shotels will just clean this up. I mean, you know, I guess the Chosen Swords are pretty healthy, so you might do something. The Disciples having fear is also a huge factor to consider. Like, having fear is so fucking good. Just makes things route faster. Don't have to worry about it. Can cause some chain route stuff, so yeah, now Rovan decides, okay, I'm not going to chase, like I have slingers, you have archers, I'm just going to sit back. We can trade missile fire if you want, or I could just shoot your infantry, and if you give me your archers, I'll shoot them. But, I mean, if the archers can get some value early on, then maybe they can hold it. Chosen Sword, though, pretty healthy. Spear Warrior also pretty healthy. Slinger's just shooting the infantry, exactly. Like, no matter how much the archers shoot anything for Kush, unless it's the general, then they're never going to be getting as much value as these Celtic Slingers will shooting this Armored Shotel. Even if they trade the Chosen for the Shotel, that's a W trade for Arverni, obviously. And now that it's sort of out of the way, nice job facing the fire there. Gets a Peel of Volley, so that is the Shotel out of the picture. Now you can just focus on the archers, well, probably the cav actually, and it should be okay. I mean, there's still 2 elite cav, so gotta be a little careful. But the general being so healthy here. We just take a big volley there. That big volley actually evens the game out a lot. But now these Chosen need to come forward. Because now the general's just going in alone against so many units. Oh my god, this is so bad. It will not go over the spearman. He can continue if he wants, but now the general is gonna die for Arvernian. That could be a huge problem because the general is the only thing keeping the cav on the is the only cav on the field, and you know, a unit like this will just be able to clean out a lot. But he is hitting it in the sword side, very unnecessary as well. He just needs to get in here and kill these slingers. The general actually made it out, like that's kind of a miracle. No, he did recently die, so this charge will be pretty good. Oh, big peel of volley though from the chosen sword, so not able to kill these slingers and getting caught here with the archers, which are maybe not even out of ammo. It's pretty big. So yeah, looks like it'll be enough for Rovan to clean it up, but not without being very close. And again, just the infantry being too strong, like 60 chosen swords here and 100 there. Not really gonna be able to kill that with the little ammo that you have left. Gen does die though. I mean, that armor showed that Cab is holding on for so long. Oh, another peel of volley. I mean, that's just devastating. Yeah, I just have another peel of volley, so the game is just over. And yeah, Rovan collects that. It's kind of an interesting game. But yeah, let's see if Kush brings the same army. I think it was fine, maybe, but the armor show tells us to get in earlier and just start cleaning house a little bit more. Yeah, the archers did fine. I don't think they were the problem. But now Kush has changed their approach. Interesting. So Kush says, you know what, I'm just gonna go 5 elite cav, 2 disciples, so 7 elite units is pretty crazy. 2 slingers, 2 archers. I mean, probably a whole bunch of trash, so 4 Kushite slave infantry, 5 Kushite slave spearmen, 5 Kushite rear guard, and the two disciples is a pretty crazy army, I'm not gonna lie. But there are Oathsworn on the field for Rovan now, so 2 Oathsworn, 3 Celtics, 2 Spear Warriors, bro, Chosen Spear, okay. 2 Chosen Spear. I'm not sure I'd ever bring Chosen Spear in this matchup. The Spear Warriors are basically doing the same thing. Spear Warriors are killing everything that Chosens are killing, and they're dying to everything that Chosens are dying to, so not sure there's really much of a point, but I guess sometimes your money's just like that. Sorry, it's a fucking bug. God, I tried to kill it, but I missed. So now you just have a lot of money tied up in infantry. Now, there is like 2 infantry for, well, 2 infantry of note for Kush, so the Oathsworn can just take care of the disciples. I mean, they will lose, but they'll basically trade off, and everything else can just crush. I mean, Levy Freeman will lose. There's a Spear Warrior in front as well. Actually, a 3rd Chosen Spear. Holy shit. So 3 Chosen Spears, 3 Levy Freeman, 2 Oathsworn, 3 Celtics, 4 Heavy Horse, 1 Noble Horse, and 4 Slingers. It's kind of crazy. I mean, the infantry department is very solid here, but there is again 5 elite cabs. Kind of like the ODK build, honestly, with a bunch of very flimsy infantry, but then you also have 2 disciples, so I guess in that sense it's been an advantage to have 2 disciples. And he's not worried about Jav Cav in this game, obviously neither side is, so that kind of helps. But the disciples add that killing force that Asera, and also just like units that will not die, that Asera was missing for ODK. ODK doesn't really have. Maybe you can bring Thracian Wolves, I guess. So just a missile fight here.
Riders on me!
They shooting each other. Nothing really happening here. I mean, I don't really know who that favors. I think both sides kind of like their missiles here. But also both sides are willing to trade. I guess Arvernian is spending less on their missiles, so it might be a good trade for them.
Follow me!
Not really sure.
As you say!
But Soapy's slowly walking up here. Yeah, just triple shot that slinger. I only was still 66 men though. Didn't really take a huge beating. These other slingers are all full. So probably the better the missile fight went to Rovan there, but it's close. Here again, these Chosen Spearmen are just unopposed. They can just kill everything besides epidemics. But the Cav is just a huge problem. I mean, there's not much to counter the 5 elite Cav. I mean, the Heavy Horse will just die. With so much infantry, like, I don't think you want to be YOLO charging the Heavy Horse. Like, surely you want the elite Cav that are overpriced, or not overpriced, but like super expensive, and are Cav. You want them to charge into your Pila, because you have like a fucking brick wall of Levy Freeman and Chosen Spearmen in the front. Like, you want the enemy to lose Cav charging into your infantry, your shit tiers, to eat the Pila and die, not really charge your Heavy Horse, get kills, even if they do get shot up a little bit, like they're still getting some value here at least. Disciple's gonna plow this in here. But you can see there, this Celtic already killed off this Kushite slave. You can decide whether he wants to lose the Celtic or the Chosen here. You can just start back in on the Celtic away, probably the better choice. Over here though, there's support in the fight, so maybe this Chosen's going to be forced to aid in this fight to get that heavy horse out of there. You can see the heavy horse are starting to drop pretty quickly. Same here, 44 to 53, so the Kushite Cav getting the upper hand pretty quickly here. See their disciple? No. Other disciple not involved is really sus though. Like he only has to focus on one disciple. He can just bring his Oathsworn in here. Remember, he has 2 Oathsworn. Not a great charge there. But this Oathsworn should just win against this disciple, especially just because of charge. Cap counter tactics are out. Safe room is gonna die. Double shove? No, that's probably pretty shove. Over here, heavy horse charging Kushite slaves. Wait again. Oh, my game's gonna crash. Fuck. 824. Okay, game crash, sorry. 824 in game 2. That's quite annoying. Oh, what? Fucking stop. Do not run with the mod. This doesn't actually matter, but let's not do that. Eight 24, game 2. Alright, we're going back. We're back in here. But yeah, one disciple not being in that fight was pretty sus. One disciple you'll see is still in the back lines. There's, remember, 2 Oathsworn to counter the 2 disciples, so disciples just die, then I feel like enough, the rest of the infantry should be enough. But again, if Robin loses his cav, then, you know, these cav are obviously a huge problem, so it does depend, but let's skip the last 3 minutes here until we get to our spot. You can see, yeah, trying to kite away with this disciple all the way on the flank, he's just never going to get engaged. Which is a little sus. But yeah, losing so much heavy horse early, I mean... Short guard. Here we go. So, yeah, heavy horse have been depleted pretty heavily here. You know, the Pila. 45, like this is pretty much useless unit. This is pretty much useless unit. My unit's fine, I guess. This unit's fine. But the Oathsworn are just so much closer to the action to help do damage. But again, how much cav can you really afford to lose? Where's the 5th cav? Dead. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I mean, one of the heavy horse is already dead, which is even worse. 1, 2. Yeah. Must be dead. And you can see the Kushite Royal Guard, 3 of them are very healthy. This one's a little depleted. This one will probably die, I guess. It did okay, allowing the gen to get dumped as well. It's serving its purpose here. Heavy horse did get in, which is big. Really kill off 2 archers. And this disciple now getting in on this flank, just owning these units. Yeah, this Oathsworn also, like, why not get in? Get in and do something with it. But yeah, this disciple just dying to the Oathsworn, as we thought it would. Yeah, they got a free charge, basically. But the Cavs still quite healthy. This flank, this whole disciple is looking good. But there's a full Oathsworn to counter it, so that's not the end of the world. Right now, I feel like Rovin's only problem is he has no cav, which is a huge problem. Okay, there's 2 cav here, that's really what's happening. That's still 4. But with these cav dying to the Royal Guard here, and this cav's in it, it can still be fine, but the general also taking a little bit of damage. These cav become very strong, maybe not strong enough, but like if he goes helps this fight, kills these Lowy Freemen for free with his reserves. So those are the disciples who have some killing power, But the 4 slingers are still alive. That is a big problem. Since Soap will have to go deal with them at some point, presumably. They do have a lot of ammo, I'm sure. And the Oathsworn are still looking pretty hot. But you need to start killing Cav, right? Like, Cav is the only threat here for Rovan. Infantry will eventually die to the Oathsworn, no matter what. And probably a lot of Cav will die to them as well, but not killing the Cav would be a mistake, of course. Shoot this. This Cav is actually in a tough spot here against 2 units, so if I was working to even get into this Cav fight, it would be good. Oh, nice charge. Suicide charge from the real Cav, but they're just in such a blocky formation that these charges just kill so much. People are coming in as well, and again, just can't really defend them. There's a lot more spears though back here. Celtic getting some slingers as well. Nice spear volley there. So if this guy dies, which it will, there will be the gen in this one. I guess this guy's also winning. Pretty decisively, actually. And again, just trying to get support into the fights. Like, Arverni should be the one that has support in every fight, right? Like, Kush should never be able to do that. But there's so few Cav left on the field. These Royal Guard are just going to do great until the Oathsworn can get in. I mean, the Oathsworn here tying down this Disciple, killing it easily again. But it's not going to matter if, you know, everything else dies. It's kind of like inverse normal. Like, look at the support for Kush in the Cav fights. And then the Disciple is dying, sure, but it's whatever. It's dying to an Oathsworn, but the support is going to win. Where usually it's Kush that's in that position, right? Kush is usually the one that's just dying alone while its support is dying, or maybe winning some fights alone while its support is dying is a better way to put it. So, the general is still fairly healthy though, 30 men, and these Cav are starting to lose strength just trying to fight these continuous fights. General gonna just kill that off so that these bigger unit can just go kill the slingers. That's fine, the Kushite Rogar Gen is super healthy in the back, just chilling. The archers probably don't have too much ammo. But they still do ammo. Missing a lot though. But yeah, Slinger's kind of going down. I mean, at the cost of this Cav. Oathsworn's still cooking everything. But there will still be the Gen. And I don't think the Gen plus the ammo remaining isn't really realistic to kill. Even with Oathsworn, because the Gen for Arverni is going to die at some point. Oathsworn's getting dumped in the back by 3 units. It's dead. And here comes the cleanup control. Maybe I'll pull through.
As you say!
Surely?
We understand!
Maybe it came from this way. We can afford to skip here. Nothing much for Arverni to do, just try and kill the archer somehow or just box and hope he runs out of ammo. Maybe the more likely option, but even then, just get cycle charged to death by a full strength. Kushite Royal Guard, you're not killing that. General will die, and then, yeah, General's already dead actually. And that's gonna spell GG. Yeah, big recharges from the Royal Guard. I mean, this one will put up a fight for sure. But, oops. It's not Oathsworn units that are gonna die, and then the Oathsworn will get surrounded. That's really the problem here. And okay, so 1-1, we go to our last game. And I'm interested to see if Rovan reverts to his other army or maybe some mix. The Oathsworn did good, it's just Cav was too weak. So yeah, it does go for a different army. Yeah, there's a bit of a mix, I guess. Kush gonna go for the same exact army. So again, that's 5 of the Kushite Royal Guard, 5 Kushite Slave Spears, 4 Slave Infantry, 2 Disciples, and 2 Slingers and 2 Archers. But Rovan has gone for something interesting. Not 20 units, which I really don't like. Full rush as well. And the Slingers, I felt like were getting value actually in the other games. At least some value. But now, perhaps not. I don't know. Well, definitely not. There's no Slingers. So he's just full rush, but he only has 19 units. So what does he have? He has 2 Elite Cav and 4 Heavy Horse. 2 Noble Horse. He has 3 Chosens. 2 Celtics, Chosen Spearman, Spear Warrior, Chosen Spearman, and then what, 3 Elite Freeman. So kind of a mix of both games. He's got the 2 Elite Cav, not the other Swarm, but he does have the Chosen Spearman. Like last game, he has a little bit more infantry power, well less infantry power, but he's got 5 units of decent infantry. He's got the 2 Chosen Spearmen. He's got enough Elite Cav to really contend. I mean, of course, the Heavy Horse are doing a lot, but the Heavy Horse were doing a lot in the game 1 because they were killing Armored Desert Cav mostly, right? They weren't really killing the Kashyyyk Railguard very much. It came down to like some crucial peel volleys on those units to win that game. So we'll have to see how the Heavy Horse perform. That would be my biggest danger for our Vernies. If the Heavy Horse aren't getting value, it'll be really tough. It'll be really, really tough. They're a pretty long game, so we'll see. And Rovan probably just needs to attack everywhere again. You're only losing 2 fights to Disciples. Everywhere else, you're winning. So you just attack and forget about it, right? Like, you need to try to time something perfectly. Now Rovan's just gonna charge in. I don't think that was expected, but again, now the Heavy Horse are just so far ahead of their infantry support. They're gonna take a big beating here. Noble Horse also charging in. Getting the charge, the gen, but at least getting pretty good kills on the slingers there. But now the infantry support's in, both sides are going to retreat their cav, but of course the Heavy Horse are coming out much worse in that exchange. Pretty good charge from the Heavy Horse here, also getting back shot at the Pila on the Kashyyyk Railguard, so that was a nice engagement. It will probably cost the Heavy Horse a lot long term though, because now they're just surrounded. But you can see here are the Disciples, so you want to just run away here. They kind of pulled through. Just run the Chosen Spearmen away and around. Blob chasing the General here, another General with the Kashyyyk Railguard. There are a lot of them still remaining. Try to kite again. I don't get trying to kite here. Like, you just attack and kill the villagers. But Soap is also keeping the Kushite Slave Spears at the back, so they're like kind of guaranteed to use up their Pila on Cav, which is so nice. And then if they die later, at least they've gotten some value. Done something. 2 Chosens here, but Disciple coming into this big blob, and it loves a big blob to just clean up really quickly. I mean, we can just watch its kills just go way up. As you just see these Spear Warrior and 2 Chosen Swords. This blob insta 50 kills in the charge. That's not only Chosen Spears, right? It's also, or Spear Warriors, right? It's also definitely some of the Chosen Swords, which is bad. And again, there's not a lot of cav support. Like, there's support for both sides, but there's not a lot of instant support. Again, I really think you want the Kashyyyk Railguard to be charging first. Of course, you don't have slingers this game, so it's a little harder, but if possible, it really forces the issue. But there are the 2 Elite Cav as well in the field. You can get the health of the Cav, 59, 59, 19 Heavy Horse, 43 Railguard, 51. General's full, but most of the Heavy Horse are just destroyed. Like, that was such an aggressive charge. That really cost them a lot in terms of cap numbers. Well, he is killing infantry, right? That's the thing. But the Disciples are going to start to cook, of course. But can they really kill all these guys? Like, probably not. You know, they're probably mostly killing off this Spear Warrior, and then eventually these Chosen Swords will probably outgrind them. Other Disciple is here, I guess. Is there a Disciple dead? Oh, it is dead back there, okay. Oh, I died the last man, so they kill off a Disciple. Only 1 Disciple remaining, but the cav advantage is starting to really grow. Ah, there are 2 Gallic Hunters, okay. Interesting, interesting. So that's a fun unit. Surprise, motherfucker. 2 Gallic Hunters. Trying to shoot down the cav. But again, just lost so much cav early on that I'm not sure he can really sustain this long term, because again, the Disciples are doing enough damage here, and you know, the archers and the cav charges and everything, that in the late game, 2 or 3 Kashyyyk Railguards, especially if they're healthy, are really just going to run over our Vernies units that are depleted, and obviously without cav. Now the General will get a great fight here. He'll kill this off. Heavy Horse chasing down the archers, so they can't really shoot the gens. The gens are just going to kill this Railguard. They're going to kill this whole flank off, really. And even the Disciples are starting to die. No, our Vernies just wants to consolidate now. They do have these Gallic Hunters, so that will give them a means to kill stuff. You know, they can kill archers with them, they can kill infantry, cav. So if you can consolidate and just defend them, That'll be good. Of course, there are more missile units for Kush, but some of them are dying. Disciples are just dead now. But I mean, they got insane value, 230. General pretty much nuking this Kushite rear guard very easily. Now he can go protect the archers, but instead he's just going to get the rear charge here. Makes sense though, because now there's a chosen spearman at 100 men, so your cav doesn't want to be in this fight at all. They'll just cook everything here. The general can just retreat. But over here the heavy horse are dying, and you can see there's just like so much healthy cav. Like this healthy cav can just run over these units. Even the chosen spearmen, of course, first you can shoot. And now it's just a couple of infantry units left. Now there are some very healthy, like chosen spears, chosen swords, and our chosen spear here. But, and the Gallic hunters, of course, as well, but there's just not enough. And of course, they're also very isolated, right? So, you know, they're gonna kill this like Freeman that's isolated, then they can kill this shit that's isolated, and then they can deal with the main threat. So they just run away from the Gallic hunters. But, you know, Roman's just gonna attack into the two archers. Good target priority by Soap, just saying I can just click on the gen here. Oh my god, my game almost crashed again. But didn't. And Noble Horse. Gonna take a little losses for basically nothing because he didn't commit or anything. The Kushite rear guard got shot by the awesome Gallic hunters there. Now the general is forced to kind of commit, and this is just like trading pieces in chess. You're just gonna trade your Kushite rear guard for the general, and that's a great trade because you have another cav that's unstoppable. You have another cav over here. You have all sorts of low tiers, you have more missiles, kind of everything. But getting the general off the field, the only thing you don't have is infantry. But of course, your end game is kind of anti-infantry. Now this guy did get rolled because there is this spear support, right? You can't keep feeding the spearmen cav, they will sweep them up. And now trying to shoot the gen, which obviously is a great target, but not. Celtic's also getting in here, killing this Slayer, just killing it. So now it's actually a very interesting battle. Both sides kind of need to consolidate. Like this chosen spear would love to just come back. And he's gonna do that. Even if you take rear shots, you can kind of just like frontally face whenever he shoots. You want to regroup so that you have as many units here to defend as possible. Maybe try to get this Gallic Hunter to shoot the gen, but the gen is at 51, so quite strong. And there's two other small rear guards and a pretty big infantry. Also a slave slinger and a Nubian bowman. So, yeah, the Gallic Hunters are strong here. The Gallic Hunters are very, very strong. Nubians have ammo. You guys also have ammo. My 10 kills have probably quite a bit of ammo. Larry Freeman. I mean, look at this decision. He's just gonna say, I'm gonna go back and kill that Larry Freeman. I have no rush to kill these units. And he's probably correct. The general is very weak. It will die to any charge or pretty much volley, you know, barring him being pretty unlucky. Now I can just go kill this Larry Freeman, whatever, it was isolated. Get some nice back shots here. And meanwhile, our Arverni will just rest and accept that. Oh, the general's dead even, so that's even worse. So yeah, how do you stop this elite cav? Not really sure. I guess the Gallic Hunters. They are sniping, which is crazy because they're just in the fucking open. But great job from the Gallic Hunters. Now they are revealed. But killing off the gens, now there's no cav. He just forms a little boxy. I mean, killing off those cav is really nice. I'm actually out of ammo as well. One has ammo. The Nubians are also having ammo, and the slingers are shooting now. Not sure why the Nubians aren't shooting. But now he's just gonna attack. Boom, flatten this shit. Go for the routes. General gets another big charge. And yeah, Chosen Swordsman just route with basically 100 men. Only 40 men, okay. But yeah, just a mass route situation. And that will do it, even though infantry was quite strong, just not quite enough. And yeah, those early cav losses just really cooked him. And a lot of fights between Heavy Horse and Kushite rear guard that lasted more than like 1 second. If you just charge and pull out, like, it's fine. But the Kushite rear guard killing the Heavy Horse with pretty much no value because the infantry support was too far was killer. Obviously 19 units also hurts there. I'm not sure 2 Gallic Hunters were worth it, or some other change could have been made to alleviate the 19 unit problem, but not sure. Anyway, GG. Yeah, so played well. Got enough value with Disciples. Like, Rowan was doing a good job shutting them down, but then it was at the cost of all the cav, I think was the problem, which makes it hard. But, I think we've been here long enough. How long has this been going? Almost 2 hours, yeah, I'm fucking tired, so. GG's. There's already been some playoff games that look quite good, so, I'd like to watch those at some points. But, for now, that's all, so. Thanks for watching, hope you guys enjoyed. See you in the next video, blah blah blah, peace out, and